This video contains gratuitous use of profanity
and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought.
Viewer discretion advised.
Oh shit! Mud shark? You're not a mud shark. You're barely even a fish.
This is a Pink Podcast.
This is fucked up.
1x2, they're actually podcasts out of Philadelphia.
Tune on to Win by 2 Radio.
Where's John Di Caprio? Did he ask about me?
Fuck Carl! He's effectively done in this business. Funny the podcast, catching people like Dr. Mingo.
So I'm a dumb guy.
I'm hoping John Di Caprio is, but...
Take your fucking bra off, Barry!
Like, let me guess, does he attack everyone?
I'm gonna be yelling at him the whole time tonight. Your show sucks!
Thank you. Thank you. You've been far too kind and really patient. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Reconsider Weezer, Jeff. Reconsider Weezer. How's everyone doing here this fine Friday? Is it really fucking Friday? Jesus Christ. Not even a full cup of coffee in. I need to make me another cup. What the fuck? What is going on? There's so much here to discuss here today. Thank you for tuning in to this fine episode. Much to discuss. Lots of things. A lot of people acting up. A lot of criminals across this landscape. So we're going to be diving into that for the better part of today's show. We have Patrick to get into here today, as per usual. Baiting the audience to pay him $10,000 to actually, he was really going to consider holding shit in his hand, like actual human feces, his own feces, his fecal matter. This is an actual thing. This is actually what is happening in the state of no make sense. I think he had a mental collapse because Aaron didn't go to jail yesterday, so he decided, well, what's a good way I could kind of deal with Aaron not going to prison? And the answer he came up with is, I'm going to take a shit in my hand and hold it above my head. I mean, how insane, man. How fucking batshit crazy is that? And of course, he's, still going for the Cumia numbers, the Cumia fan base. He wants Cumia on his super tip systems. There's a lot more of that from this past week. We're going to be getting into some of Patrick Melton's best moments. He's grown anew. I don't even know what you would call it. Mountain on his face. Welcome into the show, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Turns out all I had to do was unmute a simple button here. But sometimes things aren't as easy as fixing things in lifetime. See, so what happens when there's a problem and I don't know how to fix it and I'm trying everything? I panic. I literally panic. And instead of just taking a deep breath, trying to figure it out, trying to, really problem solve in live time, well, I just simply turn down the stream. I turn it off completely, and then I'll figure it out then. But nonetheless, you don't come here for the issues at hand. You come here for the issues across this landscape. And there's a lot of people, which we're going to start with our first little story here from today. My favorite band in the world. You guys know him. You love him. Jeff Closer. I think this is his favorite band as well. Weezer, everybody. Give it up for Weezer. And Scott Schriner, which is the bass player, the guy holding down the rhythm section. Scott Schreiner's wife and the cops were in a bit of a shootout this past week. That to me is the biggest story. Well, besides SteelToe's new sign. Has anyone seen the SteelToe sign yet here today? Give it up for SteelToe's sign, man. I feel like SteelToe just hitting this applause button, but literally I have 4 sound drops, so it's applause and this one here we got here. SteelToe got a new sign, by the way. It's amazing. It's everything I thought it would be. Dog shit, that is. But nonetheless, it is amazing. Shout out. I can't wait till this thing is up. I think Monday is his big studio reveal. He's going to have like 7 HD cameras. He's going to have like new and improved the lighting. You know me, I love a good studio, and especially a good studio reveal, and especially from people that, SteelToe, that we've been watching for 3 years, and we've watched could you even call it an evolution of his studio or a de-evolution of his studio? Because I think it's a de-evolved, if anything else. But anyway, he's got the new sign. I'm pretty pumped. We're going to check it out here on today's program. Get into everything from yesterday. He's pleaded guilty. This man is, I don't even know how many charges he has. I don't know. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. Again, a little show from the St. Cloud area. A little guy named Aaron Imholte and Aaron Imholte. We started watching practically 3 years ago. And to see, again, the trajectory or lack thereof to which he has now gone, where he's at now. And he's got a cop pleas. He's pleading guilty to lesser offenses because he doesn't want felonies, but he'd rather have gross misdemeanors. And somehow in all of that, somehow in all of the law jargon and going to prison and having, restraining order after restraining order after restraining, somehow it's unbelievable. It's still a win for the toe. And that to me is what's amazing. That to me is, the guy, he's fucking Teflon. He's fucking Teflon. And you just got to know this little piggy, no win by 2, no Chad, no Rekieta, no Minnesota PD, no Minnesota judges. I guess no one's going to stop this guy. He's just going to continue to run rampant, headbutting every fucking female, choking out every bitch that comes across his path. And I guess we just have to accept that. And, it is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. So we'll get into all of that and much more. I want to go over this little Mir podcast because it is epic. One of the most epic shows, I think, of all time. Dr. Chow was on the show, and Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid made an appearance. And we had actually come to find out that Dan's sister, according to Little Mir, was actually a faggot. And I didn't actually know that. So this is news to me. So shout out to Dan and his sister. for, being, I guess, a part of the LGBTQ plus inclusive thing. Congratulations, Dan and his sister. I mean, this was probably one of the most hilarious shows. One of the more funnier shows, I guess, in 2025 this year, the Little Mir podcast. Mir Musk, I think they're calling it these days. Dr. Chow, you got me? Am I right there? Or you guys rebrand it? I'm not quite sure. I tuned in on this episode the other day, and it's Dan, and they're doing a serious interview. Where'd you get your start? How'd you come up with the name? And then within like 30 minutes, Little Mir's like, pounding down Long Island iced teas or whatever the fuck he was drinking, twisted teas. And he's, calling out Dan's sister for being an old lesbo. Pretty interesting stuff we'll dive into here on today's show. We'll get into much more. I want to get into this guy, Tom Myers, who's also beefing with SteelToe. It's this guy, I mean, is insane in of itself. And he thinks he's crushing it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys could help me out here. We have a couple other people breaking the law. And we're just going to be watching people, pretty much today, breaking the law. And I think that's been a common theme here over the last couple of months, just people continuously breaking the law. And, for whatever that's worth, I guess people just like supporting criminals. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know this was an actual, people like are into criminals. So this is news to me. So, if you're out there and you're one of these people who are like, oh man, that's my guy, dude. I love my guy. He's my internet guy. I love him. He can't do no wrong. It's like, I guess, but your guy is a criminal, man. He's a fucking crim. So, for whatever it's worth. We'll get into all of it and more. Welcome in. Happy Friday, TGIF. I'm hearing some sort of feedback. Let me fix this really fast here. Bear with me. 1 second here as we go off cam. I'm starting to be a little bit more accustomed to this restream, but it's still it's still so shitty. I would try to download other shit, but it's just, a long story why I can't. So until then, you'll just have to, accept this, I guess. All right, I think we're good. Let me just make sure, cross some I's, dot some T's. Everyone file in, go fill up a cup of coffee if you have to real quick. We're just getting started. 1 second. Sorry about this. Okay, we're back. All right, so I want to start off, like I mentioned, with Scott Steiner is his name? Scott Reiner? No, it's the bass player. Scott Schriner. And again, my favorite band, Weezer. This is insane. This happened in the midst of the whole SteelToe thing. So I think this all got buried. The lead was buried. And again, this is very sad. It's a very sad thing. But it also highlights Jillian Lauren, which is wife's name, is a fucking gangster. So pretty much there was a hit and run, I guess, involving Jillian, who's Scott's wife, Scott being the bass player of Weezer, hit and run where she was involved in, and she, I guess, was a part of the car that did the hitting. And essentially the people that she was with and her all fled. She gets back to her house and I guess has a gun, comes out and starts shooting it. Like literally starts shooting while there's police there. I mean, it's insane. And here, we'll just try to share the screen right here quick. And she's pretty much firing back at police. It's all insane. She gets shot in the process. So here, let's go to the first little clip from Rock Feed, 90K views. This guy's got a pretty cool setup. Rock Feed. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen this guy. Weezer bassist wife shot by LAPD, charged with attempted murder. I mean, give it up. Could be worse. Maybe she'll plead it down to a gross misdemeanor. I don't know. Maybe it'll be another win for the Jillian. I mean, again, people are just out of their fucking minds these days. Anyway, let's see what's happening. This is Rock Feed, Weezer's bassist wife shot by LAPD, charged with attempted murder.
A troubling situation developing tonight in Los Angeles, California, where, according to reports, the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schriner has been shot following a bizarre confrontation with the Los Angeles Police Department. Now, this situation unfolded following a wild police pursuit that spilled over into their neighborhood, with Scott Schreiner's wife, Jillian Lauren, emerging from their home. And following that confrontation with LAPD, she ends up getting shot and is now facing very serious charges. The details are a bit murky at this point, and as the days continue, I'm sure we're going to learn more about what exactly led up to this situation. But as of now, we know she's facing very...
I mean, I could pretty much tell you right now, the cops weren't a fan of Weezer's latest album, the Green album, or whatever Weezer's latest album was. I mean, could you imagine if that was really the case? Just getting a shootout with the police because you hated their last fucking album. By the way, shout out to motherfucking Isaac Walmart coming in, gifting 5, count them 5, Win by 2 radio memberships. Shout out to Isaac. Thank you. And whoever's getting these memberships, a simple TY in the chat, I mean, would really go a long way here at Win by 2. Because again, people like Isaac and others do not have to do so. So if you're getting any gifted memberships, please, a simple TY will suffice. Anyway, let's get back into this Rock Feeds little coverage of Jillian Lauren getting, I mean, blasted and doing some blasting.
Very serious charges, and if convicted, she could certainly face a multi-year prison sentence stemming from this incident. Now, here is what we know about the circumstances that led up to this very troubling situation. Just days before Weezer is scheduled to perform this weekend at Coachella, Weezer has grown to become one of the biggest bands on the planet over the years. And this weekend, they're scheduled to...
Hear that, Jeff Closer? One of the biggest bands on the planet. Sorry, I didn't know if you heard that or not. Just reassuring that here. We'll play it again just in case you missed it.
Before Weezer is scheduled to perform this weekend at Coachella. Weezer has grown to become one of the biggest bands on the planet over the years. And this weekend, they're scheduled to play one of America's biggest festivals, Coachella. And a short distance away on Tuesday afternoon, the California Highway Patrol and LAPD raced to the scene of a hit-and-run accident. When they arrived, they found that 3 suspects had bailed out of the vehicle. One of them climbed up over an embankment and ended up on a residential street. Jesus. And as police raced into that neighborhood to try to locate him, they would eventually encounter the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schriner, Jillian Lauren. And at the end of it all, she ended up shot in the hospital and charged with attempted murder.
Yikes.
How did this happen? Well, here's what we know. According to reports, this situation unfolded in the Eagle Rock neighborhood of Los Angeles. Those 3 suspects left on foot, and as police got into the area, they found that one of them had climbed over that embankment and was into that neighborhood. Now, what led Jillian Lauren to emerge from her home while armed, reportedly, is unclear, and why she felt the need to start shooting, according to reports, but this is what they said happened in that bizarre situation. A report from TMZ says, as cops scoured the area, setting up barricades and blocking off streets, Scott's wife, Jillian Lauren, emerged from the couple's house, gun in hand, as she began shooting.
So I guess she wasn't involved in the hit and run. I guess there was a separate hit and run where there was 3 suspects climbing over embankments all across Eagle Rock in the greater LA County. And then Jillian, I guess, hears some of this ruckus because it's nearby. And she comes out strapped to the fucking gills, AK-47 on her hip, Desert Eagle in her left hand, ready to fucking shoot. And she just starts going to town, I guess, to which she ends up shot, I guess is how I'm picking this up. Let's continue.
According to law enforcement source, presumably at the suspect. Now, during this very tense situation, police screamed repeatedly at Jillian, demanding that she drop the weapon. She did not comply, and ultimately, the police shot her. After she was shot, she ran back into her home, where she remained for approximately 30 minutes. After that time, reportedly, Lauren and her babysitter then left the house with both of their hands up, surrendering to police. Now,
I mean, you got to say she's a fucking gangster. She gets shot, goes back into her house for 30 minutes, is like probably thinking like, all right, if I could wrap this up, maybe put some gauze in it, maybe I can go back out for round 2. Like I fully believe, and maybe this isn't true, but I fully believe that Jillian Lauren was, gearing up for a big showdown with the LAPD. She wanted to take out the LAPD. I could be completely off by saying that. As I see JE membership for, that's a 19 whole months. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, JE. And he's absolutely right. Goes on to say, damn, a woman with bangs went nuts. And it's a great point. You see one of these females with bangs, and I'd say, probably past the age of 25, right? If you have bangs, it goes for anyone. You're rocking bangs past the age of 25 as like your look. Now, maybe every now and again you want to let your hair down. You don't really feel like doing your hair. That's one thing. But if this is like your primary look, which is, it appears to be in every picture, typically you're probably a little batshit, in my opinion. And so it doesn't actually shock me that she was ready to, have a showdown with the LAPD. Jay also goes on to say it ain't so. Whoa, whoa. Thank you, Jay, for the 19 months, man. Thank you. You did do it right. You did. Sandbagging son of a bitch. Never trust a woman with bangs. Never trust a bass player's wife. Bass players, furthermore, bass players. Let's get into bass players. You never want to trust a bass player. Well, bass player, it's like most bands don't even need bass players these days. Now, some bands do. Red Hot Chili Peppers, you got Flea. Flea pretty much is the Chili Peppers. Flea and Frusciante. What's his name? John Frusciante. They pretty much are. So, like, some bands do need bass players. Rush, Geddy Lee. Obviously, you can't have Rush without Geddy Lee and the bass. But I'd say conservatively, 65% of bands could do without their bass player. That's a fact. And you could probably just line in a backing track, or you could just have, two guitars, one rhythm guitarist, one lead guitarist, and you can have the rhythm guitarist just play the bass lines. Never trust a bass player. Never trust a bass player's wife. They're shady characters, probably strapped to the gills. And, they'll end up in situations like this with, having shootouts with LAPD officers. I don't know. I'm just assuming here. Every interaction I've ever had with a bass player has been shady in my experience. But anyway, Jillian Lauren, she's, a nut job, gangster. And let's see what else happens here.
According to this report, they say the original suspect was apprehended, but the other two are still currently on the loose. And it sounds like there's a lot of holes in this story. There's a lot of information that we don't have that I assume we'll be learning going forward. The story does say that she was presumably shooting at the suspect, and you got to wonder what would prompt her to do that. What happened?
It's like, why are you... just stay inside, bitch. Just stay inside. Unless the suspect was trying to break into your home. So, like, these suspects are, like, on foot, jumping over banks and climbing rocks and what? You just come out with your guns and just start shooting them? That's actually pretty, when you think about it that way, it's pretty based. But at the same time, it's, California, they're not really pro-gun, as it were. So it's just like, Jill, it's probably best, you just keep your nose out of it. You just keep your nose out of it, and you live to see another day. Now what, you're shot? Who knows? You could lose a leg, lose your life. And you think this Scott bass player guy is going to stay with you while he's on tour at Coachella? No, he ain't staying with you. Again, it's been my experience that bass players have been not only shady, but the most untrustworthy of the group. Again, the band doesn't really need a bass player. I'd also go, there's many bands, again, that need bass players, but most bands don't. It's just nonsense at the end of the day. The low end. Who needs low end anymore? Anyway, let's keep listening.
that caused her to do that? Did she just come out and just flippantly start shooting at a person on the street? Did he run through her property? Did he possibly run through her house? It makes you wonder what led to this. Obviously, when they told her to drop the weapon, she did not comply. She ultimately got shot, and now she's facing that very serious attempted murder charge.
Yikes.
So this is a troubling situation. Obviously, Weezer's scheduled to play at Coachella this weekend, and now they're having to deal with this very, very concerning incident. She has been released from the hospital, fortunately, and was booked with these charges. There is no statement at this time, but I do believe that we're going to learn additional details, because this is a truly bizarre situation where you have to wonder what prompted this incident to unfold in the way that it did. Fortunately, no one lost their life in this incident. Obviously, very troubling situation anytime you have someone being shot. So that is what we know at this time. We will definitely keep you updated as we learn more.
Oh, thanks.
That's your latest update here from Rockfeed. Be sure to...
Oh, thanks. Thanks for keeping me updated. I don't know what I would do without you. Rockfeed. So anyway, yeah, Jillian Lauren. I mean, here, we're going to go to another video by her real quick. Let me give a couple quick shout outs as this video continues to load. Let's see who we got. Coach Dayla. Oh, shout out to Coach Dayla. Says, I guess she won't be on any islands in the sun anytime soon. Welcome back, Blade. See what he did? You see what he did there? I need to explain. This probably ain't the show for you. Thank you, Coach Dayla. And Gray Lobster becoming a SteelToe member. Shout out, Gray Lobster, my second favorite lobster joint, right behind Red Lobster. Anyway, thank you, Gray, and thank you, Coach. Let's get into. I want to show you one more video because I think this is the actual footage from the scene of the crime, and of course I can't fucking find it. So I mean, this is great. This is amazing. All right, this is on Twitter. And again, I think this is an aerial footage of that scene of Jillian Lauren going, I mean, nuts. Courtesy of the New York Post here. Let's share the screen here. Share the fucking screen, man. The fucking screen. I mean, how insane. All right, here we go. Boom. Bang. All right. We got volume. All right, here we go. Play. So I guess this is she topless? Jillian Lauren, wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schriner, shot after pointing a gun at police. I can't tell who's who. I'm guessing this is her right here, and her friend, I guess, is just flashing the police. I mean, she appears to be topless in this video. She's on her knees here. Oh, she's like spread out. Is this someone who, I mean, got shot? I mean, how bizarre. And like, if you're Weezer, like, what do you say? You have to back out of Coachella. If I know, I hope Weezer doesn't. I hope Weezer continues to play Coachella as if nothing happened. Fuck this bitch. You know, she was an idiot for having get involved in the first place. Again, just stay inside. Stay the fuck inside. You know? But you have to be too nosy. Yeah, you have to, you know, take matters into your own hand. And this is what happens. This is literally what happens. But it would be amazing if Weezer didn't back off of Coachella. I mean, look at this scene here. I mean, you're practically, I mean, doing the Floyd. Jillian Lauren is pretty much, by the way, next month is Floyd month. I can't wait for that. But I mean, she's pretty much doing the Floyd. It's just, I mean, what are we doing here? White women from California. I mean, it's all bizarre. I hope Weezer stays on the tour, but it's like, how do you go about even playing your set? Seems a bit dicey to me. So I guess we have the EMTs. I mean, this is just the aerial footage from that cold, dark March day. I guess it's Jillian getting loaded up in the back of the 55 ambulance here. And don't worry, there's no volume on this video. So I guess some black person is just running toward the cops. You don't see this every day. Look at this. Jillian Lauren, everyone. Weezer's Scott Steiner's wife from Weezer shot and now facing charges. Much like Aaron Imholte, even though he wasn't shot. Bizarre stuff. Even though he wasn't shot, he's still a fellow criminal with Jillian. So for whatever it's worth, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully Weezer just continues to plug on. I mean, it would really be devastating to me if they really, after all these years, gave it up because of some stupid bitch decided to, you know, play Terminator like in her front yard. I mean, what are we doing here? So hopefully they get their act together and they continue to play, you know, Say It Ain't So and all the hits across the land, especially at Coachella. I'd be very disappointed if they backed out of Coachella. All right. Shout out real quick to, look at that, Aaron, the motherfucking rats in the building said, "It's a blade. What's new? You sandbagging son of a noga." Shout out Aaron the rat. I mean, there's so much happening, Aaron the rat. So much happening. My eyes are on here. I got to find this. You have to bear with me here because this unit that I'm using here is it's not the quickest. And now my messages aren't loading. I want to show you. I got to show you this because it's amazing. Like, I almost want to get into this SteelToe stuff right now because it's so goddamn good. But the motherfucker got his new sign today, which I'm very excited to debut here on the show if we could fucking find it. The motherfucker got his new sign. So SteelToe for the better part of, I mean, really the last 3 years has been talking about this new studio that he's going to be getting. And really the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been really dialing in how he's going to be debuting this new studio. And like I said, implementing multi-cameras in his setup. And he's got this friend who's working on this sign. Of course, my Twitter isn't working, so we're going to have to go to Rumble for this. He had a friend who's working on a sign. Now, the way he made this out to be, Aaron the rat and everyone else, I mean, if you listen to him or if you watch this show, some of the coverage I had on SteelToe, he made this sign. He made us think that this sign was going to be, I mean, like, you know, a marquee in New York City, or a sign you would see like on the Tonight Show, or a sign you would see. I mean, a professional sign. He was gassing this sign up, and you know, SteelToe, he's a fucking bullshitter. And he doesn't know what's good if it hit him right in the fucking face. So we actually get the picture of the sign. And I'm just trying to load Rumble right now, and it ain't fucking loading. So that's great, man. That's great. I love Rumble. I love fucking Rumble. Not even playing the fucking video. All right, now we have Brand on Rumble. Jesus, Rumble's all fucking, they got their priorities all fucked up, huh? Russell Brand was just charged for another criminal, by the way, or alleged criminal, I guess. All right, we're on this SteelToe screen. Sorry about this. This will all be edited out in post. Don't even worry about it. Let's go to SteelToe on Rumble, and I got to show you this sign because it is so good. It's covering Joe Rogan
a year ago.
interview, I guess, that just came out yesterday.
Doesn't exist. When it comes to this stuff. Numero Uno says, under the terms of your plea deal, how long do you have to wait until you get into some new kind of trouble for show then? To Rockin' 101 and starting SteelToe, and then becoming number one, having a 35 share in men 18 to 34, and then the Iowa situation and the internet, and then breaking the law and getting a charge and pleading guilty, and then coming back to radio, the new sign, all that stuff. So this is going to have to go in the museum.
The new sign.
The whiteboard will have to go in the museum. All the pictures will have to go in the museum.
The museum.
It's going to be the
Museum of SteelToe. Could you imagine?
SteelToe Museum, numero uno.
This is an actual thing he's throwing around in his brain.
That's what we're going to have to do, right? MSO says, give it a Viking funeral. Wow, no, I can't. We can't get rid of it. Somebody made that for us. They worked hard on it.
All right, well, I mean, we got to see this. Where's the fucking sign?
Kloppo says, Dive Bar says he went. Oh, yeah, Geno went off. I could hear it. Honestly, whatever he was saying, I couldn't hear, I couldn't make out the whole thing. But whatever he was saying, he was fucking firing off. I was in the bathroom with the door open.
That's awesome. Seriously cool. So he's talking about yesterday. He was on MLC. And now look what Rumble's doing here. I pause the video now, and now they're giving me ads to the right of the video when you have it paused. And the ad goes on to say, foods that can help you to get rid of parasites. Again, if you have parasites, you have bigger fish to fry than worrying about your food. Fuck, man. Rumble's insane. Who is actually buying? Do you think anyone is buying product from Rumble? I don't think I've met anybody who's actually ever said, you know what? I've actually purchased a product from Rumble. Maybe Sam Tripoli has actually.
But
so anyway, SteelToe's on MLC yesterday. He did 2 shows. He was on MLC. Look at this one. 4 signs you may have parasites. Have I been looking up things because maybe I have parasites? Maybe that's where I've been. In bed sick with parasites. Now that's all the ads I'm getting is how to remove said parasites live on my show. This is embarrassing for me. Can you guys even see that? If not, that would be, you guys could definitely see that. All right, cool. So he's on MLC yesterday following the court. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by the parasite. Sleep apnea. All right, we're not doing ads anymore. He's on MLC yesterday, immediately following his court where he pleaded guilty for a gross misdemeanor of disseminating images like a fucking retard. Then he's on MLC with Keanu, Michaeline, and Kevin, which, by the way, all of them, really might as well pack it up, especially Keanu. She's really lost her way. This is somebody who, really, when she turned on SteelToe all those months ago, really had the ball in her fucking court. And then within, I don't even know, a week, pissed it all. I've never seen anybody. I've never seen anybody drop a ball that quickly, fumble the bag that quickly. She butt fumbled. She was basically Mark Sanchez of the New York Jets circa 2011 or whenever that was, butt fumbling. Really, for a person who always cries about how she's been beaten up by men and, a victim of domestic violence, to side with Aaron, is actually insane. But, I get whatever she has to do to pile up and stack up viewership, whatever bridges she has to burn, whatever people she has to piss off. That's what she'll do. And then she's proven that time and time again. She will go wherever the fucking wind blows. She's not loyal to anybody. She's not a trustworthy person. Again, she was a person who, when she found out SteelToe was doing things to April, and I quote, he's a monster, is exactly what she said. He's a monster. I didn't know all this was happening. And now that I do, I can't unsee it. He's a monster. And then, like, 3 weeks later, oh, I'm just hobnobbing around with the toe again as if everything's fine and everything's kosher. We're all good over here. It's like, you guys, both of you, Geno and Keanu, you guys are sad, pathetic individuals. Really. You guys all of you deserve each other. It's sickening. And then you wonder why April, like, despises you and hates your guts. I mean, like, gee, I wonder why. I wonder why, you dumb fucking stupid accented bitch. Speak normal. Can you speak normal? Could you practice speaking normal? Could you? Maybe for once in your life? I mean, I don't know. You're not auditioning for some sort of movie or anything. I mean, what is with the accents? And if that's just who you are, then you're fucking, I mean, more insane than I originally anticipated. But we'll get into Keanu right after this. It's frustrating to watch sometimes. But for Aaron, I'm trying to find, he debuted his new sign, and I caught it right before I went live here this morning. It's amazing. It's a must-see.
Geno was out drinking with Kumia. So they were tying one on, and Geno had a good rant. Numero Uno Josh Denny fan says, what happens with the old sign? Well, if in the next year or so we get back on the radio, we're going to have to build a SteelToe museum because there's a hell of a story now.
I mean, for fuck's sake.
Now part of the law. I'm not saying he wants to be. I'm just saying that when people find eventually they'll find the clip, it'll be Stevie Lou's voice that you'll be hearing. Let's take. There we go. There you go, Stevie. I just saw that Stevie Lou tweeted about it, and I thought that was funny.
Oh, cool. I just saw a tweet that Stevie said. I thought it was funny. I mean, cool. Again, anytime you think this show, my show is, oh my God, this show is dragging. What happened? First of all, I'm dealing with I'm trying to build a secondary studio here, so you're gonna have to work with me for a little bit. But secondly, I'm not just on Twitter speaking my thoughts, my inner thoughts out loud and like saying this is somehow content. I mean, look at this.
There we go. There you go, Stevie. I just saw that Stevie Lou tweeted about it, and I thought that was funny.
I just saw a tweet that Stevie said, Tweety. Yeah, Tweety. I just saw a tweet from Stevie Lou, and I just thought that was funny. I mean, awesome.
People don't like that the guy who made the sign didn't put morning show on it. I'm fine with that, though, because it's going to be up there for the evening show and the morning show. So putting morning show on there would have been weird when we're doing shows at night.
Okay, so this is what is called in the business an old-fashioned cope. So wherever we could find the fucking sign in this clip of madness, it literally, I think, just says SteelToe or SteelToe show. And now his cope is, oh, well, it's fine that they didn't put more SteelToe morning show because we're going to be doing shows in the evening. Yeah, but your show is called the SteelToe Morning Show, STMS. SteelToe, by the way, I need people to remember this. SteelToe is the name of a brewery in Minnesota in the St. Cloud area that he stole the name from. The SteelToe brewery. I think they're still in business, by the way.
It's kind of strange.
So it's just now you're going to be the SteelToe guy. Okay.
MSO says the real criminal here is your barber. Sandy Squatch says anyone that was watching live knew what you did. Wow. How dare you? Bunch of fucking mind readers over here. Let's get that Joe Rogan, Douglas Murray clip that we wanted. That guy was being a cunt on Florida. I don't think I'd do Orlando again. I wasn't that impressed with Orlando, Florida. Texas. Oh, no. Galveston. I took a one day. Only 2 people's phones have had that picture on. Like, so this idea that like, oh yeah, there was this photo that Aaron shared with Geno, and it was in this group thing. No, it was not in a group thing. It was a picture that I took.
That makes it better.
It was on my phone, and then it was on Geno's phone, and then it didn't exist. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
So that makes it way better, just because it was on Geno's phone and not in a group, that actually makes it better. So, prosecutors in Minnesota, the judge in Minnesota, I mean, really, listen to this shit.
so yeah, and then it didn't exist. That's it. That's it. That's so yeah, Stevie Lou never knew, because I've not been able to admit what I did until yesterday. So I've not been able to kind of let you know exactly what I'm guilty of. And yeah, that was it.
Shocker. None of us knew.
Only Geno and I.
This came to a shock. I mean, I had no idea.
And I think Geno said in the documents that he showed Keanu. So only myself, Geno, and Keanu have ever seen.
Oh, so now it's 3 people.
What I pled guilty to yesterday.
Gotcha.
So
who else was it?
there is that. That's if you guys are looking to close the door on the lore, so to speak. That's the.
What if we don't want to? What if we want to keep the door wide open on the lore?
It's so weird because.
Is it weird? Look at this.
Like in the evidence and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Nick sent the prosecution and us like a bunch of stuff. Like he sent a bunch, and it's like, no.
Imagine having to go to court and plead guilty to a gross misdemeanor at the age of 38 for disseminating pictures. I mean, aren't you embarrassed, dog? If this were me, I don't know about you guys. If this were me, I mean, I'd seriously reconsider, reevaluate my life. I wouldn't continue on begging every day online. I mean, it's just insane to think that, this guy could just continue on pretty much as if everything's normal, as if nothing happened. Humiliating. And I don't think enough people, I know people are humiliating him, but it's like he's already deemed the people that are humiliating him his detractor. So none of it really actually ever sticks. You need people close to him. So what this tells me is you just have no actually good friends, because a good friend would pull you off to the side and say, listen, motherfucker, I mean, you're really fucking your life up here, dude. Get it together. You have 3 children that kind of look up to you for now. I don't know if the same sentence will be true in a couple of years when they're a little older and wiser and can have Google at the edge of their fingertips. But it's just get it the fuck together. I mean, what are we doing here, man?
Oh, guys, I'm telling you, that's not what it is. But you can't really say that, because you got to wait till you get a deal, and then you can admit, what you did. Don't know what to tell you. So yeah, Stevie Lou is now part of the law. I'm not saying he wants to be. I'm just saying that when people find eventually they'll find the clip, it'll be Stevie Lou's voice that you'll be hearing. Let's take. There we go. There you go, Stevie. I just saw that Stevie Lou tweeted about it, and I thought that was funny. People don't like that the guy who made the sign didn't put morning show on it. I'm fine with that, though, because it's going to be up there for the evening show and the morning show. So putting morning show on there would have been weird when we're doing shows at night. It's kind of strange. MSO says the real criminal here is your barber. On show 2, this one doesn't say morning show.
All right, we got to find
the classic sign is iconic. We're good. And did I just fuck up my shit? Because he doesn't like how Joe Rogan's.
Now he sounds.
Are we good? Oh no, we're good. We're good. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I appreciate it. Numero uno says the classic sign is iconic.
Headbutt your wife, choke your wife.
I don't know about this new sign. Look, This one says SteelToe Show, too. This one doesn't say morning show on it. Mint Tickety says, I like the new sign. Klopogram says, Aaron on a
I guess I passed it. What the fuck is this new sign at, goddamn?
And I'm like,
is this a, did I picture this?
I think you would be appropriate in a someone's name and thought it was a win. Yeah, that's really weird because it's like, guys, you can do that all. Yeah, they'll 17 gifted memberships. 3 more gifted. Rough one. No stress eating. Aaron is
Germany in 2015. What star
hiking
probably tops the they vehicle headline.
The Germans made that line up. They're like, yeah, the what to fill out. Can't remember. Take these $20 full and $30 karaoke. Oh, there's a place in Wasika where you can go.
All right. I'm gonna have to circle back to this.
Trying to think of a new Saturday. I told SP maybe I should go golfing. He's like, yeah, you should go golfing.
I mean, is this the fucking show now where we just discuss what we're doing on our Saturdays? Like, what is actually going on? You know, I talked to SP the other day and I was like, you know, I should go golfing on Saturday. And she was like, yeah, you really should go golfing. And so turns out I'm going to go golfing on Saturday. I mean, cool fucking story, man. I mean, is this a show or is this just like, you know, a daily journal now? I mean, what is going on?
To do this weekend. Trying to think of something to do Saturday. I told SP maybe I should go golfing. He's like, yeah, you should go golfing. It's going to be like 68 degrees. And then I asked I sent a text to my buddy's group text. I'm like, hey, you want to go golfing at like noon on Saturday? And he's like, I could line up a couple hours in the simulator. I'm like, I don't want to fucking go golfing in a simulator. I don't want to go that. No simulators. I want to go like out. I want to go golfing. The only thing is 67 and cloudy tomorrow. I would like some sunshine.
I would like some sunshine. I mean, what is actually happening? All the meanwhile, I keep getting ads. No hangovers, just a lingering bliss. I mean, could you stop? Leave me alone. Rumble, fuck. I don't want your products. All right, I'm trying to find this fucking sign. I guess I just dreamt this morning.
That would be nice. It's going to be very April weather.
So if you were thinking, what is today's SteelToe about? Well, it's about him possibly going golfing this Saturday while it's 67 and cloudy in St. Cloud, Minnesota. This is riveting stuff here. We're watching groundbreaking material here. He's really, I mean, just, I never knew all this information existed on the internet. I mean, he's really delivering some fire.
Weather too. It's going to be 58, 67, 68, 45, 52.
So now this is unbelievable, man. We're getting a full-on St. Cloud weather report for the week. We're getting a weekly report. Does he want to be a weather guy? I mean, this is unreal.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking go golfing in a simulator. I don't want to go that. No simulators. I want to go like out. I want to go golfing. The only thing is 67 and cloudy tomorrow. I would like some sunshine. That would be nice.
That would be cool.
It's going to be very April weather too. It's going to be 58, 67, 68, 45, 52, 62,
No
53.
way this is happening.
I also maybe need to come to grips with the fact that maybe it's not golf season yet. Now that this case is done and we're just doing the probation.
It's not done. It's not done. The case is far from done, dude. You still got to do a whole pretrial hearing. You got to do a whole, assessment, domestic violence assessment. I mean, there's still a lot left to go. I mean, he thinks he's out of the fucking woods with just having to pay this $50 and, a little slap on the wrist. The judge says, make sure to never do that again. He says, all right, judge, another win for the toe. Here, take a 50. The judge is actually like, no, you keep the 50. It's for the morning show's goal. See, there's like, what a guy. I wouldn't be shocked at all if I don't think he's going to do any jail time, but there's still a little possibility that he does. I mean, but at the very least, I mean, to think that you're not going to get any sort of like probation or any sort of like possibly community service or have to pay extra fines. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know the law that well. All I know is it's not over. You pled guilty to a lesser offense, but you still have to be sentenced for said offense. So how is this over in any stretch of the imagination? Makes no sense to me.
An investigation part of it. We do want to go on a trip somewhere. We do want to head out.
And now we're talking about possible trips. I mean, am I dreaming? Is this actually what's happening? Weather reports and what he wants to do on the weekends and what trips he wants to go, what places he wants to go to, what destinations he'd like to stop. I mean, I'm seriously perplexed here.
And we're just doing the probation investigation part of it. We do want to go on a trip somewhere. We do want to head out.
I mean, cool, bro. Seriously. That's awesome. I venture to guess a lot of people want to take trips. I venture to guess even a lot of podcast and radio personalities probably would like to take some trips. I mean, do they discuss their fantasies about taking trips live on the air? I'd venture to guess no. I mean, maybe some radio personalities, but maybe not. I mean, I've never heard like Howard Stern discuss, I was talking to the wife the other day and we were discussing about, us going on a trip this summer. It's like cool fucking story. I mean,
and we're thinking maybe Florida.
And now we're yawning and stretching and discussing trips. I mean, okay, cool story.
But got to work out a date, figure out when we're going to go. Going to the gay 90s bar again. No, I'll probably stay away.
Shout out to Noga for 250. Says, I'm guessing Win by Two's bass player stole your girl. Fuck. I mean, Noga, you had to bring that up, Noga. You had to bring that up. You fucking sandbagging son of a bitch.
Away from there. Big John Stud. April's weather 69. No, not that. That's not.
Okay, I don't know. I might have to circle back to this. I'm just trying to find this motherfucker's time where he's letting us know about
need to come to grips with the fact.
The Panther tank.
Thank you, guys.
Is that a sound drop? That's true.
If I'm the guy to be kick the shit out of his company so bad. What do they have? 2 followers? Aaron. He goes, what would I take back? Along with having a team. Bo says Disney is a total ripoff. My phone and that's now part of the law. I'm not had to pee. That's the new SteelToe
Oh, we
sign.
got it. Thank you, Christ. All right, here's the new fucking sign. And as quickly as we got it is as quickly as I lost it. Son of a motherfucker.
Scream and this backdrop.
All right, here we go.
It's the halo effect. Anybody.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back.
I found it.
But yeah, Geno can yell and scream and carry on all he wants. I just can't say anything or do anything about it. So no conditions that I'm under affect anyone else's behavior. Anybody else can say anything they want. I'm only responsible for me. Numero Uno says classic sign has the halo effect. Well, the other thing, and you guys can have an opinion on this, this sign is going to take up probably the whole backdrop. So let's, if you haven't seen the thing yet, I think MGD on Twitter, is it MGD?
Shout out to MGD.
Has a picture of the sign somewhere.
Wait for this.
Oh boy, where is it?
Amazing.
MGD. There she is. She says, I digs it.
And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the SteelToe sign. Now, we are bombarded with ads here. Do you have these symptom ads? I mean, no, Rumble. I mean, and there's no way to exit out of these ads. So it's like, either which way. This is the new sign. SteelToe. I mean, it looks a lot like the old fucking sign. just in a rectangular shape. I mean, he was boasting and bragging and so gassed up about this new fucking sign. First of all, it's like screwed on to like tile, like floor tiling. And it looks a lot like the old sign. It literally is the old sign, just stretched out into a rectangle. But this is what he's been bragging about. And this is what's going to set him apart and make SteelToe a better visual experience for the audience. This is what every day's goal. Now, mind you, he didn't pay for this sign, the cheap fuck. But this is what all of the money that this guy's making is going back into, aside from lawyer fees and court costs and $50 for gross misdemeanors. It's going into multicam setups and new fucking dope signs.
Oh boy, where is it? MGD. There she is. She says, I digs it.
Look at this.
She likes the sign. That's the new SteelToe sign.
It looks like, I mean, amazing. This is great.
That's what, God damn it. 1-2 skip to my Lou made this sign.
You forgot the guy's name? You've been working with this guy for like 6 months. First of all, I don't believe this sign took 6 months to make. I think this sign maybe took, I mean, seriously, this was like a side project for some autist who had nothing else better to do. He's really going to sit there and say this took 6 months to make? Okay, so if it did, how does it that, you know, in 6 months you've been in communication with this guy and you forgot his fucking name? I mean, how disrespectful.
That's what, God damn it.
God damn it.
1-2 skip to my Lou.
Scratch my temples.
Made this sign. This stuff up here is just some anchoring stuff that we're going to put in it.
Oh, cool.
Pay no mind to the anchoring items.
But this is what he's going to
we have up top here.
By the way,
I just don't know how to take pictures. But that's the new sign. I think it looks fantastic. He did some awesome work on it. I hope you like it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's the link. Numero uno, Josh Denny just put the link in the chat.
And again, podcasters, look, I'm calling out all podcasters here. If your camera displays your waist and above and your hand, we can't see your hands, I'm automatically assuming you're touching your dick. I'm automatically assuming you're caressing yourself while you're doing your show. So we need to see podcasters' hands at all times if we're able to, if the camera angle allows it. Like right now, you wouldn't be able to see my hands even if I lifted them up straight up into the sky. SteelToe, we could see your hands, but they're under the desk. Why? Why is your hands under the desk? What are you touching? What are you caressing?
Kloppo says, Dive Bar says he went. Oh, yeah, Geno went off. I could hear it. Honestly, whatever he was saying, I couldn't hear, I couldn't make out the whole thing. But whatever he was saying, he was fucking firing off. I was in the bathroom with the door open.
I was in the bathroom with the door open. So let's get to the clip. So he's talking about yesterday how, again, Geno called in to MLC while Keanu, Michaeline, SteelToe, and Kevin were doing MLC. Again, I'll get to my thoughts there in a second. But Geno calls into Keanu's phone, and he's going off, calling Kayla, Lady Rackets, a stupid bitch, a stupid dyke, a fucking whore, money-grubbing slut. All the names in the book Geno was going after. Meanwhile, you got Keanu there just laughing away as if everything is all fine. Mind you, Kayla Rekieta is a victim of dissemination. And no one ever talks about this. No one ever talks about this. But she was. And so every chick in Aaron's life is a victim of something, whether it be abuse, physically, mentally, digitally. This guy's, I mean, he's a sick, sick pup. And again, the audience continues to allow it. So until there's, until there's something happen, a catalyst that happens, I mean, it's just going to continue on. That's why he's Teflon toe. I don't like it. It's sick, but it's just the reality in which we exist in.
But, yeah, Geno was out drinking with Kumia. So They were tying one on, and Geno had a good rant.
Okay, let me get off this. I've been on this Rumble way too long. I think the computer actually has AIDS now from all the parasites. Let's go over into MLC from yesterday, and we'll get into some of the other stuff I wanted to get into as well. But this was MLC from yesterday. Like I mentioned, Kevin decided to capitalize on SteelToe's verdict yesterday and tried to, make a bunch of super chats. The problem is Kevin doesn't really know the SteelToe lore, nor could he be bothered to do any sort of research about the SteelToe lore or what's happening. He's just there to collect the super chats, let Aaron kind of just talk. There's no pushback from any of these people. They kind of just let Aaron be Aaron. There's nothing. There's no anything. It's just basically one giant cuck fest. I mean, basically, what we watch is this, like this little piggy version of MLC, or a point double point version of MLC, where everyone just nods along and laughs, and it's one jolly old fun time. Mind you, this man just got out of court for pleading guilty. I don't care if it was not that big of a deal. I don't care if it was. The point of the matter is, he's a fucking Aaron's a terror. He's a monster. And that's Keanu's words, by the way. So anyway, let's play the clip. MLC, SteelToe, and Keanu, courtesy of Stalin 19, after Aaron's court update featuring Michael.
Now I'm looking back. No, things.
Oh, look who's here!
Oh my God! Yeah,
we were just talking about your ex-wife. I didn't.
Oh,
see
hey, what's up? The reason I had to go to court today.
What up, dog? You're welcome. You're the reason you.
Right. Okay. So I'm glad Keanu, says this. And mind you, it's in a joking manner, but SteelToe comes on. Hey, what's up? The reason I had to go to court today. The reason I had to go to court today. Aaron, you were the reason why you had to go to court today. Again, no, he never takes any accountability.
What up, dog? You're welcome. You're the reason you are the reason you had to go to court today. Not me. 100. You are the reason.
100%. To quote the great Kevin Brennan, I was a bad boy.
You were.
100%. To quote the great Kevin Brennan, I was a bad boy.
You were a bad boy.
Wait, so I don't even know if you know this, but Keanu seems to think that April Imholte is now living back with her parents.
The court documents would spell that out. Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted people to. I didn't know how I knew that she was at home. I forgot you told me that, but isn't that it's
public? It's public record.
So okay, this is insane. Kevin just goes, oh, I didn't know, but it turns out April's living back home with her parents. To which Aaron goes, yeah, the court documents would suggest that's the case. And then Keanu, the dumb fucking idiot that she is, blurts out, oh, yeah. No. You texted me. Me and you had talked about this. So mind you, this is Aaron, the same guy who's always like, when I unplug from my show, I can't be bothered. I don't care about Nick. I don't care. I'm trying to just move on and live my life and build new signs and design new studios and let bygones be bygones. But in reality, all day, this is what he's consumed with. This is what he's. And I would even go as far as to say is that's not even that big of a deal. Like any normal person would probably be consumed. Like that was your wife. That was your business partner. So there's nothing wrong with it, but the fact that you deny it on a daily basis, that it's like you've moved on, you don't think about these people, and all the meanwhile, you're behind the scenes texting with Keanu. Oh, did you see April did this? Did you see Nick said that? Did you see Kayla said this? And then you come on your show and he's like, yeah, actually I'm looking to play golf this weekend. It's like, you're not. You're going to be inside all day on Kiwi Farms. You fucking cuck.
I didn't know if you wanted people to. I didn't know how I knew that she was at home. I forgot you told me that, but isn't that? You said you knew
public.
That
it's public record. She would.
Oh no, it's public record. It's You're consumed.
That's the address she put on when
Michaeline pops in, just drinking away. Mind you, this was 4 p.m. She was
served with the subpoena.
Chug, Mom.
Now, mind you, Michaeline also See, this is why I kind of give Michaeline a pass. She kind of just has to like, this is Keanu's her daughter. She's just kind of trying to do a nice thing with her daughter. It brings them closer together. They don't live close by, so this is a way they could see each other every day and communicate. So they do this podcast, gossip a little bit, drink, blah 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 blah. She don't want to be involved in any of this. How selfish can somebody like Keanu be to drag her mother down into the shit verse? And then the way Keanu flip-flops, I mean, Michaeline can't catch up. I mean, this is a perfect, kind of representation of, Michaeline's state of
that's
mind.
the address she put.
Just drinking the feelings away because, again, SteelToe is a person, Aaron's a person who Michaeline despises, doesn't like. And she has said this on many shows. I used to like him, but he's a bit weird. He's kind of, I forget the exact words she would say. She probably said a monster, an evil guy, a swindler. But now she's like confused. Like, oh, so I guess we're back to Team Toe. I can't keep up. Let me just chug this fucking glass of alcohol and hopefully I'm drunk by the end of this.
Put on when she was served with the subpoena.
Chug, Mom. I did.
I read the discovery, Keanu, and I will say this.
What?
Geno stayed loyal.
He's a loyal boy.
All Geno told was the truth.
Well, what did I tell? That's all I told. I told what I saw and what I knew. Was I meaner about the truth? Maybe.
Yeah, the spices you threw in were a little.
All right, but don't think I didn't tell the truth. Maybe it was.
You didn't say anything that wasn't true. But
Geno's was spicier. He was like, "This is stupid."
Okay, you're right. He was spicier.
Your camera's fine, Mommy.
It was more in my favor. His spice.
I hear you. There you go. Yeah.
Did your lawyer ever think this would be like a serious charges? Like you were saying, we watched a clip. You were talking about a felony. Did your lawyer really, or did he never guess on what it would be? You'd end up being.
He said two things at the very beginning. He said you'll never do jail time and you won't have a felony.
Yeah, because what you did was so in the grand scheme of things, it's so insignificant. I mean, you had a picture on your phone. It wasn't revenge porn. It wasn't anything.
No, but it was wrong, and I hurt people.
People do wrong things all the time.
I know, but I don't. It's not a. It's I know a lot of people. I've seen people writing on Twitter and shit and on YouTube and all that. They're like, another win for the toe. I didn't.
I mean, can anyone point me to any of these tweets? I've scrolled and scrolled and scrolled Twitter the past 24 plus hours. I haven't seen anybody say another win for the toe. I've literally searched hashtag another win for the toe just to see if it would pop up maybe in latest or trending or anything. Turns out nothing. Turns out nobody said another win for the toe. You hear Kevin there, though, say, in the grand scheme of things, what you did was kind of insignificant, didn't even matter, was so small, which one can make the argument, okay. But I guess, Kayla Lady Rackets, she doesn't matter at all, right? I guess is what we're all saying. I guess is what you're saying. Fuck her. Let's just share her nudes live on air. Fuck her. Now, one could make the argument, well, Lady Rackets, you shouldn't have been involved there in the first place. You're the dumb bitch who got yourself involved. And to which I would say I actually agree with you in that situation. But you can't take it back. The fact is that she was involved. She let Aaron touch her, caress her, lick her up and down, take pics of her. But, okay, even if she was a dumb, stupid, whatever, it doesn't give Aaron the right or anyone the right to share pics online and like boast and brag about it. And it's, I guess, illegal in the state of Minnesota. So whether it be insignificant or not, the fact is you did it. And now you're saying all these people on Twitter are saying another win for the toe. Again, point me to these people on Twitter and I'll pay you, $1,000 every tweet I see.
I've seen people writing on Twitter and shit and on YouTube and all that. They're like, another win for the toe. I did a shitty thing. I did something mean. It was a bully thing and it was a boy shithead thing to do. And I'm really glad I got to go to court today and say that, because now I can say it here. You got to remember, people are like, oh, Aaron.
Wait, did you say boy in court?
Oh, yeah. I said I was an N-word boy, and they appreciated that. It's St. Cloud.
You know it was a douchey thing to do. You knew it was awful, but look what you had just gone through, getting like cucked out of your life. You were trying to like.
Thanks, Keanu, appreciate it.
It's true. It's true. Nobody should ever do that. But is it?
But SteelToe, when you were doing it at the time, you didn't think it was a terrible thing, right?
Yeah. Let's just say
you said to Geno. You said to Geno, your boy's not doing so bad. So you're obviously just. It was lighthearted.
Well, Keanu was there at the time. It was definitely a guy who was going through some shit, who just wanted his buddy to tell him he was doing okay. Because I needed to hear it. It was a retarded, shitty thing to do. And I was the wonderful specimen you see in front of you now. Well, that was not the guy who sent the text message.
At that point, April was.
Okay, so you've been hearing him say the last 24 hours. The guy who sent the text message isn't the guy you're seeing now. I've changed. Mind you, it's only been 11 months. It's only been 11 months. And really, if we really break it down, it's probably been less than that. It's been 11 months since that incident, but I mean, you were going off. I mean, as recently as up until like last week, you were going off on Rekieta. This shit. You've done a better job trying like hiding your disdain and hatred and all those, negative feelings that you feel to those people, but it still consumes you. You haven't changed, bro. You're the same motherfucker. You'll always be the same motherfucker. People don't change. I'm here to break that to you today. People don't change. They get either better at whatever it is they're doing, or worse. But that person is still you. You're still that person who sent that picture. You haven't changed.
And I was the wonderful specimen you see in front of you now. Well, that was not the guy who sent the text message.
At that point, April was living there, and you were mad at both of that. You were mad at the three of them, right?
I really wasn't. No, I wasn't mad. I had filed for divorce already, and it was. I think everything was signed at that point, or at least was signed within the week. I was like kind of depressed.
Yeah, Poignant Bachyderm says Toe is incredibly dim, but Kiki making excuses for him is hilarious. And that's another big takeaway from all this. Again, I kind of ranted about it earlier, but it's like Keanu making her excuses, or making excuses for Aaron, and pretty much carrying his water. Yeah, I know she's taking like little pot shots, but it's in a joking matter. Geno and Keanu are more so Geno too, and Keanu. Keanu had a whole show sniping SteelToe at one point. I mean, do we all just forget about that? And Geno would motherfuck SteelToe, fuck Kayla, fuck, April. They're all dumb bitches. They all deserve each other. Remember how mad Geno was getting? But now Geno and Keanu, they're so desperate and they're so alone. They need anybody to clam onto, because they don't have Kumi anymore. They're not on Compound Media. Maybe if they were, it would have made it somewhat of a difference. Maybe not. I don't know. But these two people will be in Minnesota this summer for the SteelToe 12th anniversary, when just not even a year prior, they were doing snipes about how big of a monster SteelToe was, and the tell-all about all the crimes he was doing. I mean, it's a fucking joke, dude. It's a fucking joke. The way these two fucking flip-flop. I mean, it's laughable. It really is. It's just sickening and laughable at the same time.
Pressed about the whole thing because I was kind of finally admitting to myself how degenerate and gross and disgusting it was. And I was like, God, at least let somebody. And like, nobody was disagreeing with me. That's the thing. Like, sometimes you say shit to people, you confess what you did, and you're hoping they're going, oh, it's okay. It's okay. But nobody was doing that. They were just kind of like, yeah, you gross. And so I just wanted somebody to be like, hey, good job, buddy. And it was retarded. Keanu had a question, though. I was very interested.
So the reason why you sent the picture was just to kind of like a pick-me-up. You were feeling so shitty about yourself. You sent that picture to Geno live on your show. Mind you, you could have did this after your show. But you knew it would, Nick would see it. You knew April would see it. You knew Lady Rackets would see it. And at the time, you were so fucking butthurt at all of them for having, pleasureful, masterful, three-way, sloppy Rekieta sex that, and you couldn't do anything about it. So your way of getting back at them was to send a nude picture to Geno live on your show to make you feel better. I mean, do you hear how ridiculous this sounds? Do you hear how ridiculous this sounds? No, it was a way to get back at all of these people. And that was your only, one of your biggest cards that you had at the time. Maybe even your only card. Because again, if it was only about just, I just needed to pick me up because I was so down on myself, then why wouldn't you just do it either before or after the show? Because you knew everyone wouldn't see it, right?
To hear what her question was.
And also, Joe Piscopo's on the Dabbleverse radar because he's a lead into Anthony Cumia's 77 WABC show.
There you go. Toe, actually, we're inquiring minds want to know, while you were in the polycule, were you cheating on the polycule with Slam piece?
No, I was not. While I was cheating on my wife, I was not cheating on my wife.
Which I thought, okay, well.
Hey, I have a question. How many wives have you cheated on?
All of them.
Yes, thank you. All of them. All of them. You're a slime ball. Anybody who cheats on their wives, or their wife, I mean, seriously, is a slime ball. The lowest of the low. I mean, put that in perspective for a second. Let that sink in. And again, this is what comes to a shock as me, is that people support criminals and cheaters. And I guess that's just where we're at in 2025 is people, they don't care what people do. Literally, you could shoot somebody. I made the equation to Karen Reed. Now, I was getting a little pushback, and I was actually told that she's actually not rich. I made a comment the other day on the show. Whatever, it's irrelevant. My point is people they don't give a fuck what you do anymore. You could shoot somebody dead in the street and continue living your life the next day. It's nuts, man. And it's kind of scary when you really dial it back and think about it. I know it's not as extreme as shooting somebody dead in the street, but cheating on 3, significant others, 2 of which were your wives. I mean, it's almost up there. It's not quite the same, but it's, kind of close. Kind of close. It's
question:
disgusting.
How many wives have you cheated on?
All of them. Honestly,
maybe you shouldn't get married anymore.
Hey, Michaeline! Hey, Michaeline!
It's the only reason I'm here, to hear you sing that like that.
Yeah, she loves it. We can't.
And again, Keanu, you have to point this out too. Keanu is the same person who would drone on and on and on and on and on about Kevy Brennan. He revenge porned me. Oh, he put my nudes on Twitter. Now, I would actually say that's not a revenge porn because you already have nudes out there to be consumed by the public. So it's technically not a revenge. But that didn't stop you for saying that. And then here you are hobnobbing on MLC as if everything's A-okay. Again, these people are sick. These people are really sick. Let's keep watching.
Can't get enough. We can.
So, are you a sex addict like Wade Boggs or something crazy?
I don't know if I was a sex addict, but I was I'll say this. I was probably closer than I'd ever like to be.
I forgot about the SpaghettiOs.
That's not.
Yeah, but that was the only food in the house. That was okay.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It's just that, when people are knocking on the door and being like, "I'm hungry," I'm like, "Well."
Oh, that is.
But you guys are having foursomes and doing coke, and the kids are hungry.
I can't talk about anything like that. But all I can say is that, honestly, making the bare minimum. It's not a hero thing. It's still, you were still a garbage person who did garbage things. You were just the least garbage. That's not a.
And I'd even push back and say, he just admitted there's other food in the house. So there's probably corn and mashed potatoes and eggs and stuffing and turkey and a whole bunch of other items he could have made rather than SpaghettiOs. But what he just translated that to is SpaghettiOs were the easiest, quickest thing to make. So I could get back. I'll make, the spaghetti. I mean, what's it take to make SpaghettiOs? A minute and a half? You open the fucking SpaghettiOs, put it in a pot, warm it up for 2 minutes, maybe at max. I don't know. Last time I made SpaghettiOs, I was fucking 9. So I don't know. Maybe it takes longer. Maybe it takes. My point is, it was the reason why you made the SpaghettiOs. First of all, for up to you, you would let the kids fucking starve. I mean, let's be real. But the reason why you even made the SpaghettiOs in the first place was because it was a quick thing to shut them up and get them to go off, make sure they weren't hungry and weren't bothering you for the next couple of hours. So you can continue on eating Molly, snorting Coke, and, continuing to perform acts of blasphemy. Is it blasphemy? No. Adultery. Sorry. I was getting my sins mixed up. It's been a while since I read the Bible, but yeah, you're a sick fuck, dude. You're a sick fuck. And all of you are basically complicit in this.
That's right. You were just a little teeny bit of trash.
Right.
I was a lot of bit of trash, but I did mildly redeeming things in between.
Right. You weren't there when they battering rammed the door down. So
thank Christ.
Thank goodness.
Wait, so is Nick? I don't know if you even know this. Is Nick Ricotta going to Hackmania in May?
Judge has to let him go. What do you call it? The probation that he's going to be on, no drinking, no drugs, probably 5 years or so. And the court has to approve every, time he crosses state lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you can go wherever you want?
Until the sentencing, yes. But like part of my release conditions are that I just have to let them know if I'm leaving. So like, I don't have to get permission. I just have to go, hey, on this date to this date, I'm going to be here. My lawyer sends that to them and then I go.
So what kind of sentencing are we talking about?
We're looking at probation and a $50 fine.
Oh.
So just another $50 fine. I mean, again, the max, I think, sentence, I read this on Twitter after I was scrolling through all the another wins for the toe tweets. I found the max sentence for this crime, and it was upwards of 364 days in jail, and I believe a $3,000 fine. Now, to which I don't think he's going to receive any jail time whatsoever. But I do think probation is on the table, and he keeps throwing around this number, $50, $50, $50, $50. I wouldn't be shocked if you had to at least pay 10 times that. If you at least had to pay $500. Typically, when you're on probation, there's some sort of restitution or some sort of costs you have to pay back into the system. It's not just $50. I mean, or maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know the law that well, especially in Minnesota, nor do I really honestly give a fuck. But the point remains. So he keeps saying this whole thing's over. Okay, if you're on probation, it's probably going to be at least a year, maybe 2, possibly more. That means once a month, checking in with a PO, pissing in a cup, them evaluating you, evaluating your actions, evaluating your personal life, making sure you're keeping your nose clean. This thing, again, is far from over. So, I mean, I don't know what this delusional mindset is, it's thank God now it's over and I could speak about it and continue living my life. Like this thing is far from over. You still have at least another 2 months plus. You have the sentencing coming up and then whatever comes from that. So again, I mean, I don't know what delusional pill he took or, what kind of sick cope this is. I mean, I don't know. Let's keep listening.
So
wait, you're still going to get sentenced?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of pleading. Like, you don't just say, hey, I did it. And they go, see you later. You get like a year of jail stayed. They don't give you the year of jail. Instead, they go for X amount of time. In this case, 0 months to 2 years. You can't do this. And mine's going to be the terms of my release, not saying or mentioning or going near certain things or people or whatever. I have to do that. And then there's probationary discretion. Basically, they can go, all right, 2 years probation is the maximum. But after a couple of months, they're like, we really don't have anything to do with you. You're good. Like, we're not going to monitor you anymore.
I think everybody should have a jail stay at least once.
Have you, Michaeline? Okay.
Yeah, it was a weird take, Michaeline. I'm not gonna lie.
Minnesota, honestly, Minnesota's a pretty loosey-goosey
It's
state.
a joke.
Does this little piggy bother you, Aaron?
No, I gotta say that, like, as a guy who grew up watching Stern and as a radio guy and all that stuff.
So this little piggy, obviously the show, Melton, Carl, Tukey, and Moody do. Justin Kemple asks, does it bother you? To which Aaron responds,
I think any kind of attention is good attention. Like, either people hate you a whole lot and they just root against you and they're passionate about it, or they love you and they want to see you do well. The thing you hate the most is people who don't give a shit. So I love that I've inspired people to do whole shows based on how much they hate my guts.
Can you say, Toe, the person that kept calling every
Dang Lizard says, as far as I know, he pled guilty to gross misdemeanor, so he definitely will get probation. So he'll definitely talk himself into jail. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you get the probation, and you have to abide by certain stricter guidelines than a regular free individual has to. And if you fuck up, they put you in jail. So again, just because you pled guilty and, everything, you didn't go to jail yesterday, or you didn't get probation yesterday, or you didn't get this yesterday, there's still a long way to go for this. Until this whole thing's cleared up. And if you get probation, again, you can't abuse another woman for at least a year, possibly 2 or more. And given your track record, that doesn't seem like a reality in which you could exist in, not abusing women, because that's just what you do. And Keanu, again, shame on you being a domestic abuse victim, or so you say, and then supporting this guy so much so that you're going to fly out to his anniversary show again in July after all the shit you guys had. I mean, it's just so sickening and pathetic and laughable and just gross. It's just gross. But again, you guys deserve each other. So, I mean, good for you. Good for fucking you. And Kevin, again, I hope it was all worth it, man. I hope it was all worth it. Let's have SteelToe. That's what I'll do. I'll have SteelToe on. And it's just, I don't know. It's just sickening all around. It's just sickening. Love Chatter says, I'm not sure if she's a toe bro or baby boot technically. Who, Keanu? She's both. She's down with the toe. She loves herself some toe. She can't get enough of the toe. At the end of the day, when it all comes down to it. And this is what I told her. I told her this right to her face last year before her turn or lack thereof. I said, you're a part of SteelToe. You're SteelToe. And when I said that to both her and Geno, their faces dropped as if I had 10 fucking heads or something. They looked at me like, huh? Me? Us? Part of SteelToe? Yeah, let's just look at your actions. You're on his show. I mean, at the time, they were on his show once a week. I mean, you carry his water. You stick up for him. And now you see Keanu last night going off on Melton, how Melton's a piece of shit, how he's a scumbag. How could he ever say these things about me? Because Melton was going off about Keanu yesterday, about just, how people, it was actually kind of funny, daydream about sticking Keanu's face down a toilet. And I mean, it's kind of insane, but nonetheless. And I told her the same thing about Melton too. I mean, they'll never learn. They'll never learn. They'll have to learn the hard way. The only way you're going to learn is when SteelToe is headbutting and strangling you. And I guess that's the only way. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck about these people? But it's like when you see somebody making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, and you're watching and you're like, this, I mean, it's just, what the fuck are you doing? And then you sit there and cry and bitch and moan about when the same things are happening to you. It's just, you know what I mean? No one feels bad for you. No one feels bad that you were beat up. Especially now after supporting Aaron. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Day.
Person that kept calling every day.
There is a man that I don't want to say it because.
Oh, there's only one person I can't mention.
Having to do with your court thingy. And then that person called every single day and was crazy.
You're
she okay?
I don't know. You texted us about this.
Put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of that piggy show or whatever, who do you find more annoying, Carl or Melton?
God, you know, and I hate to say this, I really don't find either of them annoying because I understand their motivation.
Are you like Jesus? You just turn the other cheek or something?
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Enough with the good guy act. I don't find them annoying. I actually embrace their coverage. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, this is the phoniness of SteelToe here. I mean, just be real. Who do you find more annoying, Melton or Carl? I'd probably say for me, Carl, because he's a rat weasel with buck teeth and club feet. Melton more so as of late, and his fake laughters and his big giant pus pockets on his face. That's annoying. When I see somebody with pus pockets on their face, it rubs me the wrong way. That to me is annoying. Aaron, though, I mean, have a set of fucking balls. Just be real for a second.
Annoying because I understand their motivation.
Are you like Jesus? You just turn the other cheek or something?
He does. He always has something positive to say about everything.
Kevin, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for so long. I'm so
since you were 18, right? Oh, that's Opie.
No, I was 19. I started radio when I was 19. I'm a year later than Opie. Opie got the jump on me. But like, when you understand people's motivation, you don't hold it against them. Like Carl had nothing after John, so he needed to latch on to somebody. The only thing is, like, Carl used to call me on the phone and like talk to me. He's like, "This Melton guy's weird." What?
He used to call me on my cell phone. Oh, listen to this.
The only thing is, like, Carl used to call me on the phone and like talk to me. He's like, "This Melton guy's weird. What's his weird obsession with you?" And then the minute he,
wow, you hear that, Melton? Carl used to call SteelToe on the phone. First of all, gay. Second of all, stating that, oh, this Melton guy is super. What do you say? Super
and like talk to me. He's like, "This Melton guy's weird. What's his weird obsession with you?" And then,
wow. So Carl is a snake, by the way. And I can't disclose my sources or let people know who I am talking about here. Because I don't disclose any of personal information that's ever sent to me. But this is actually confirmed by another source that Carl despised Melton at one point and thought that Melton was a bit unhinged when going after SteelToe. But now you see them hobnobbing, doing shows together, being best pals. Gee, I wonder why. Again, it just goes to the overarching point is that they're all fucking just phonies, IMO. But that's interesting, SteelToe. You and Carl used to talk on the cell phone.
Me on the phone and like talk to me. He's like, "This Melton guy's weird. What's his weird obsession with you?" And then the minute he found out he could make money with me, he kind of shifted towards that. And then with, also he's a Dick Masterson guy, Juju the cow. Carl's like, that's Carl's.
Wait, so you and Carl were friendly enough that you guys would speak on the phone?
During like Vikings-Bills games, we'd be texting back and forth. He called.
No, not just texting, talking on the phone.
Oh, he called me on the phone one day. He's like, "What's the deal with this Melton guy?" Like when Melton started going after us, he like called me and he was going, "What's the deal with this Melton guy? He's weird. Your show is fine. You just do a show. I don't get the obsession with it." And then when
imagine telling SteelToe he does a fine show. What? First of all, I mean, can we really honestly try to put ourselves in that? I would pay to hear those phone calls, by the way. Carl and SteelToe used to talk on the phone daily, text about Vikings and Bills games. Carl used to tell SteelToe he had a fine program. Imagine that. Imagine that. Now, again, the cope and the rebut to this will be, yeah, you know, when I first find SteelToe, I thought he was a quirky guy. I didn't really think much of his show. It took me, in Carl's case, what, a year and a half to come to the conclusion that SteelToe fucking sucked? I mean, what a retard. I'm sorry. Carl's a retard. Retard. Capital R, capital T. Doesn't take that long. Anybody who finds SteelToe. Now it's obviously quicker. I mean, somebody could put on SteelToe and within the first 17.6 seconds come to the conclusion that his show is dog shit. I mean, we literally watched it earlier today on the Rumble. Go back and watch SteelToe's Rumble, Rumble Friday streams. He's literally like planning out his weekend on the show and then telling us a weekly weather report, what the weather is going to be like in St. Cloud. Hey, guess what, bro? I don't know if this is all new to you, but this is the internet, and not all of us live in St. Cloud. Like, I could give two flying fucks about what St. Cloud's weather is going to be like the next 7 days. Seriously, I could give 2 iotas of a shit. Hey, but he got a cool sign. I got to say, he's got a cool fucking sign. Give it up for that sign. I can't wait. Monday is going to be a great... I might snipe the whole entire morning show. And then Wednesday's my... What a better... By the way, I shouldn't have even said that. But what a better birthday present. I couldn't have asked for a better birthday present than SteelToe's new studio. I feel like it's his gift to me. This new studio. Multicam setup. Carl, you're retarded.
The Nick thing happened. Nick is like a Dick Masterson baby, and Carl's a Dick Masterson baby. So Carl had to get Nick's back because he...
Shout out our mod Chris here today. Shout out Chris and all our mods. Says Blade is back, baby. Thank you, Chris. A member for 21 months, 3 months till 2 years. That's insane. Thank you, Chris. Always keeping the chat nice and organized and safe, most importantly. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm just know that I'm doing everything to build a second studio. While some people are still trying to figure out how to build one studio, I'm over here trying to build 7. So keep that in mind. But thank you for your support as always. And thank you to everyone else for always supporting this show. Let's get back into Aaron from yesterday's MLC as Keanu and Michelin continue to co-sign the monster that is Aaron.
He can't lose his endorsement from Dick Masterson. So then he teamed up with Melton, but he was losing his stuttering John heat, so he needed to move on to somebody else. And I was the thing that drew money. And like, you know, Carl, he can't do a show on his own. He's the Opie of his own universe. He needs other people around him.
Wow. I do have to agree with SteelToe on this. By the way, talk about a fucking slight. I mean, that's a fucking shot. Carl makes fun of Opie, and SteelToe just called Carl Opie. Oof. Oofa. I mean, I don't find myself on the side of agreeing with SteelToe all that much, but this time I will have to agree. Carl is a dud, dead weight. Actually, Carl should resign from his own show, and I then think WATP would actually be a better show with Jenny Jangles leading the helm. And what's it with the butter consumer, the butter eating bitch, Lucy something, Haley. I think her name's Haley on Twitter, but she calls herself Lucy for whatever reason. I don't know. I never found out why. Like, if you're going to have a nickname, like, you know, spice it up a bit. You could have any nickname in the book and you choose Lucy. Okay. I mean, I guess.
That's why he took Jocktober. So Carl globbed onto me. Patrick globbed onto me. That's how they make money. I'm not going to fault anybody for making a living, especially...
Let them get their bag. That's right,
yeah.
Aaron.
Let them get their bag. Let them make some money.
That's not my philosophy, by the way.
I know you're a burn it down kind of guy.
Yep.
Hey, Paul, are we supposed to talk about the Toe's return to radio? Blocked. Yeah, that's another thing that the Melton people have. Like,
Wait, who's Paul? Who's Paul?
Well, this is a guy I went to high school with, and he runs the one radio company that I don't talk to. And like, I talk to the other two radio companies in town, but like the Melton people are so like they're so terrified of me going back to radio that they're like, no, it has to be this Paul guy. And this Paul guy wrote an article.
By the way, again, I'm no Melton supporter whatsoever, but I mean, you just have to do not hear the words that are coming out of this guy's mouth at times. All the Melton people are afraid of SteelToe going back on the radio. Again, how would that even make any sense? People have fear because you might go on the radio. I mean, what? What are we talking
going
about?
Back to radio? They're like,
nobody's scared of you going back to radio. I actually encourage it. I want you to go back on the radio. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I'd bet everything I own. I don't think it's ever a possibility. No radio station. I mean, maybe they do. No radio station, I don't think, would ever hire you after all the shit you've been through the last year and a half. First of all, you're not that good. Second of all, there's too much baggage, you see. You're past your prime. You're almost 40. I mean, you're damaged goods, dog. You're damaged goods. No radio station wants that. They want the fresh up-and-comer. Hell, I might even try to go back. No, let me just stop. So that would be insane to think if I thought going onto the radio would be a good idea. I mean, here it is. You have the internet, modern-day technology. You have the internet at your disposal, at your fingertips. You can communicate with practically the world within seconds. And instead, you want to go to radio and lessen your audience? I mean, okay. Sounds nuts. It sounds a bit nuts.
Like, no, it has to be this Paul guy. And this Paul guy wrote an article about my plea deal. And so I talked about it on the show, and I guess he got really butthurt about it. And he was like, no.
But offended.
He got really offended. I'm sorry. He got really upset that I talked about it on my show. So he went talking to the street shitter that hangs out with Melton. I can't remember his name. And he was like, oh, I fucking hate Aaron and this and that. And I'm like, that's weird because this is the same guy who, when we were at our buddy's wedding, he asked me to get a hold of him about a radio gig. And then I don't know. Like, it's this weird deal where I've been talking to 2 out of the 3 radio companies in this town. And the one I'm not talking to is the one that my old friend Paul works for. And I guess I pissed him off somehow. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Ever notice how everyone who ever has anything negative, whatever it is, about SteelToe, they're all pissed and mad and seething, coping, angry and in fear.
That whole Onion world and their vitriol towards me, it's really hard to figure out where it started.
I heard Chad's talking to some of the same radio.
I mean, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard to figure out. It's not just, it's a lot of people find you, I mean, just unbearable, disgusting, a liar. Really, at the end of the day, those 3 things sum you up. And just a beggar. Nobody likes a beggar. Again, I've made this comparison before. I'll make it again. When I'm driving down Philadelphia, I'm going into Philadelphia. The first thing, if I'm taking the Ben Franklin Bridge going into Philadelphia, the first thing I see crossing into Philadelphia is typically maybe 1, possibly up to 3 guys or gals with cardboard signs walking back and forth, knocking. Well, they don't knock, but they might as well. Knocking on windows, car windows, asking for spare change. That is you. I don't like those kind of people. Now, sometimes I'm feeling generous. Sometimes I'll give that person maybe, 50 cents or $1, whatever else I got left in my wallet from that day. But 9 times out of 10, nobody likes a beggar. It's like, especially if you're an able-bodied person and you're fully capable of like doing like manual labor or working. It's like, how's it fair that everyone else has to get up and go to work, but you could just sit here and beg all day? No. It's not going to fly. It's not going to fucking fly. So again, these are the things why people find you repulsive. It's not just because Oh, the toe's making. And no.
Stations you're talking to.
Dude, what if Chad and I did a morning show together?
Listen.
Whoa! That would be really good.
No, Chad said since Kumia got an AM job, and then you were talking about, he said he's been.
Listen to that again. What if me and Chad did a morning show together? That would be really good. I mean, cool.
Talking to.
Dude, what if Chad and I did a morning show together?
Listen.
That would be really good.
No, Chad said
that would be really good.
Since Kumia got an AM job, and then you were talking about, he said he's been making some phone calls.
It was so funny because the people I've been talking to, they swore to me. They're like, oh no, this thing you're going through has no impact on what we're talking about. Meanwhile, all the meetings I have scheduled with them are all after today's court date. Like,
they were lying to you.
Yeah, they were like, no, the felony thing, none of that, man. We'll work around anything. And then as soon as like they figured out there was a deal and there was no felony, they're like, all right, I got a meeting in May and I got a meeting in June. So
I guess we'll fucking have to just wait and see if SteelToe makes his triumphant return to radio. He's got 2 meetings. He's talking about 2 out of the 3 radio stations in his area. Now, mind you, he's been talking to these people for years, 3 years. We'll see it. We'll see if he goes back on the radio. I mean, what a fucking disingenuous, dishonest, garbage, shit beneath my shoe individual. And again, he won't be stopped. He won't be stopped. I mean, let's just be real for a second. I mean, he's not going to be stopped until something big happens. And I don't know what that looks like. This wasn't the event that was going to stop SteelToe. I need to make one thing clear. I don't want SteelToe to be stopped. I want him to continue to I want him to flourish. So we can continue watching his every single move until he ultimately dies. Until he ultimately croaks or quits from sheer embarrassment. But that's SteelToe, Kiki, Michelin, and Kevin hobnobbing yesterday on MLC after SteelToe's guilty verdict, or his guilty plea, rather, not guilty verdict. And I guess we'll see. We have the sentencing coming up in a few weeks as it pertains to SteelToe. We have, I think, Nick's sentencing or something happening next week. So that all should be interesting. Speaking about Nick, let's check in with Nick. I feel like we haven't checked in with Nick in quite some time. So let's see what's going on with Nick. I think he had just made an appearance possibly, or maybe this is old. I'm not quite sure. I think this was just recent, though. He made an appearance on the Dick Masterson show with Dick and Votto. And I want to check this out because I feel like we haven't really heard from Nick. Sorry, I'm sharing the screen right now. All right, so we have Nick, Vito, and Dick Masterson on the Dick Masterson show. And, let's see what Nick had to say. Good old Nick. Again, I feel like nobody's really covering Nick all that much anymore. I think Nick people seem to forget about him. And if you do hear from Nick, you hear it in a pro light because it's coming from guys like Melton or Carl. And they need Nick to come to Hackamania, or they need Nick for the super tips, or Melton needs Nick in a lot of ways. So you don't hear really any negative coverage about this guy. And this guy, as much as we hate SteelToe, I think Nick is right there. I think Nick is a dog shit individual who put his kids and his family in harm's way to do drugs and hobnob around with SteelToe in April and get into, really juvenile, things. This guy was acting like a fucking fool at the age of 40. I mean, again, if I'm acting like this at 40 and I got kids, how shameful and embarrassing. And more people need to shame and embarrass these people out of existence. Or until, they really lay on the sword. I don't know what the answer is. But it's like Nick is going to do the same thing Aaron is doing right now. Come back after he's sentenced and after he could talk. And albeit I'm very interested in what Nick has to say, because up until this point, we really haven't heard all that much from Nick. And the things we have heard is light trolling at best, I'd say. The cum eating. Yeah, it's funny. Aaron's a cum eater, blah, blah, blah. Do I actually think that happened? I probably not. It just, I mean, maybe I have no idea. I'm interested in what Nick has to say, but for outside of that, it's like, spare me, dude. Fucking spare me. You put your kids in harm's way. One of your kids fucking tested positive with cocaine. You let Aaron feed your kids. I mean, imagine a reality in which that's actually what's happening. Aaron Imholte was feeding Nick Rekieta's kids. You should be, I mean, thrown behind bars for at least 10 years for just that alone. So we're going to see, I guess, Nick here with Dick and Vito. Let's see what he had to say. There's 2 clips I'd like to play.
Have you met Trump, Nick?
No, I went to his house, but he wasn't.
Into his house.
He wasn't out. I was at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Nice. Did you do any blow there?
So the question comes up. I love how these guys think that this is funny. Mind you, this is like Nick's life has just been turned upside down for doing blow. And now we're just going to joke about it. I mean, I don't think that, I think it's too soon to be doing blow jokes. Unless it's Hootie and the Blowfish, and to which case I'd say, let's do it. But listen to this.
I was at Mar-a-Lago, yeah.
Nice. Did you do any blow there? They're rolling up the deck.
I really can't stand a fake laugh. This is almost Carl-esque.
Nice. Did you do any blow there? They're rolling up.
It's almost Burt Kreischer-esque. It almost exceeds Carl. Goes right to Burt Kreischer level of fake laughing. I mean, this is hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you do any blow there? They're rolling up the documents.
So there is a clip of me coming out of a stall in the bathroom because Viva was there, and I definitely did cocaine in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh my God! Whoa! I can't believe it.
Look, what I want to do is I want to make sure.
So Nick admits, I don't know if this is true, but again, just if it is, why would you admit this? And if it's not, why joke about it? Again, this is what you just, your life has literally been flipped upside down for doing this. And now it's just all fun and games. Again, none of these people actually give a fuck about their kids or their family, despite what they may say, despite what they may tell you, or what they don't give a flying fuck. If it were up to them, they would sell their families. I mean, that's just the fucking God honest truth. It's like, you don't give a shit about your kids. You don't give a shit about your family. You're not sorry.
He did cocaine in the bathroom because Viva was there, and I definitely did cocaine in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh my God! Whoa! I can't believe it.
Look, what I want to do is I want to make sure we sit next to each other in the stall and run my hand under the thing.
How did you cup you actually cupped your thumb in as if you know what you're doing?
I watched that Republican congressman do it 100 times.
Bella's saying, wait, did Nick say that Viva was in the bathroom with him while he did coke at Mar-a-Lago, or that he walked in right after Nick did a line? I don't know. Nick's not very clear about it. But yes, imagine that. You have the opportunity to go to Mar-a-Lago and like hobnob, and especially the knob part for Nick. Hobnob and get involved with all these people and network and like rub shoulders, and Nick's just like acting like a tart in the bathroom. It's like, brah.
I don't like any of these lawyers either. Potentially criminal. A lot of these fats, they have to really like start investing in the Flonase. Too many fats are clogging up my algorithm, and then when I click on a stream to just see what's happening, they always sound like they need to blow their fucking nostrils. It's like, could you spray something up your nose maybe? Or, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I don't have that issue where it sounds like I'm clogged. But if you're going to be speaking to the masses, I mean, at least be speaking in a clear form, please. That's all we ask.
Hobnob and get involved with all these people and network and like rub shoulders, and Nick's just like
this guy sounds sick. he sounds like he's actually dealing with like COVID.
Like a tard in the bathroom. It's like, brah. Also saying Viva knew about coke use is probably defamation, which is funny. I said, I don't know if he did or not, but you know, it seems the way Nick worded it, it seems like that could be inferred.
Disclosure, absolutely. I am a fat shamer. That's absolutely correct. Because again, it's like, you know, I'm tired of the body positivity. Oh, just let live and let live. Who cares, man? That's just how I am. I'm just fat. No. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I'm sorry. It's not acceptable. Again, and I've always made this argument, you could choose to not be fat. Being fat is a choice. There's other things in life you don't have a choice of. You're stuck with your eye color, whether you're going to develop some sort of male pattern baldness at some point in your life due to genetics. You know, your height is another one. Those things, I mean, are out of our control. The way we talk, the way we sound, pretty much out of our control. But our size, our figure. And look, to the average person, I mean, all right, whatever. You want to be fat, be fat. All power to you. If you're going to be putting yourself on camera, I mean, there's really no excuse. There's zero excuse. I mean, the only people who can get away with that is like Chris Farley. And I mean, that's the only person I can think of. Like, if you're funny, maybe. Outside of that, if you know what I mean, especially if you have the means necessary to like hire a personal trainer, like potentially criminal probably does, and the fact that you're choosing every day to stuff another ho-ho and drink another fucking can of Pepsi down your fat fucking gourd is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, really. Let's not stream maybe for the night and go walk on a treadmill. I mean, did that ever hurt anybody? It's gross, man. It's gross. Get these people out of my fucking face. I think we have another clip from Nick, courtesy of Alyssa Clips, when CPS interviewed the Rekieta children. This is from March 30th, 2025. And look, I don't mean to sound harsh here, but it's just the reality of it. Too many people are co-signing people to remain unhealthy. It's really like not even a matter of like I'm fat shaming you. It's just like, well, surely I could even do better. Even myself. It's just insane, man. It's insane. I want to watch this Nick clip, and then I think I want to do some of the Patrick Melton stuff, maybe the Tom Meyer stuff if we have time. Definitely like to get into this Mir Musk show, which was really, like I said, probably one of the funniest shows of 2025 thus far. But before we do, we have Rekieta again on Dick Masterson, the Dick Masterson show. And let's see what he's talking about here, about getting interviewed by Child Protective Services.
The whole time I'm watching the show, I'm like, man, they really have no rights at all? Is this accurate? Like the cops are in there examining his wiener and like asking him questions. They're asking him questions, and he says, "Oh, I don't want to answer that." And his lawyer says, "Well, if you don't answer, it'll be bad for you in trial." I'm like, "There's no fucking."
Sorry, yeah, Patrice was another one about being fat. Like the fat is a part of your act. You know, it works. Outside of that,
there's no way it
eat a carrot.
works that way there.
Well, that's wild.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I got to tell you, like, the U.S. is not that much different when it. So, you know how the justification for everything in all of history is for the women, for the children, right? And the government has found so many ways to
That must be why this shit is so threatening to them, honestly. It's because, like, guys going like, nah, fuck women, actually.
The most terrifying thing a government faces is even a percentage of the population going, you know what? Nah, because that's all it takes.
Actually, we are saying the N-word now.
Not to get like too. I'm not trying to like get into my stuff, but one of the most surprising things. Right after we got arrested, and so they, both parents get arrested, they have to place the kids somewhere. So they take them to Lady Rackets' mom's house,
right,
which is like 8 miles away. Fine by us. Like, that's their grandparents, great place to go. But that day, a CPS investigator, without any representation or any legal guardianship.
Real quick, shout out to POTUS Felonious coming in with the super sticker, checking in for $1.99. We thank you here at Win by Two. Kudos to Win by Two Radio. Got to get that sound drop back. Thank you, POTUS. Kudos to POTUS.
Interviewed all of my children, all 5 of them.
So it's the fucking same.
No parent, no grandparent, no lawyer, not even a guardian ad litem or any representative. And they interviewed them. Now, like, obviously not my kids, but if you take a level of abstraction, you go, I have a 16-year-old son at the time that I'm getting arrested. Like, the idea that a 16-year-old might possess drugs is a real thing, and he should have had a lawyer present to help him not answer questions in a way that obviously he didn't answer any questions. They were all my drugs. Fuck these kids. They cannot have my drugs. No, just kidding. But it's like, he's 16. In theory, the idea of a 16-year-old being involved in drugs is not foreign to anybody. He should have had a lawyer present to help him out. And their justification is, well, right now, we're the guardians. So because we are the legal guardians, we don't have to provide anything because we...
Now, again, I don't know anything about the law, but isn't that, kind of true, right? You gave up your guardianship when you decided to snort all the cocaine in the world and do all the swinging and neglect your children. Right? So now CPS and law enforcement has to step in and be their temporary guardian, which is, I guess, kind of a loophole into which that's how they could interview your children. So it kind of makes sense. Again, I don't even know if that's the law, but it makes sense to me.
Because we are the legal guardians.
Hey, and if you don't like it, man, how about not? Why don't we not? We'll just stop with the drug usage. It's really all that simple. If you don't want your kids being interviewed by CPS and law enforcement, stop snorting coke. I think that's a fair ask. Stop swinging with the Imholtes. Pretty fair ask. I don't know. I don't hear any unfair thing in that sentence. Stop doing drugs. Don't commit adultery. And there would be no CPS. There would be no law enforcement. All will be well. Rekieta, you could continue to live your life. But when you start becoming a scumbag and start breaking the law, well, now the law has to get involved and they might do shit to which you don't like. And because you forfeited your guardianship temporarily, now they have to step in. To me, it makes sense.
We don't have to provide anything because we consent to our own interrogation. That happens in America every single day. So when you say, that's
so it is the same.
It's the exact same.
I was watching. I watched the show and I was thinking I was horrified at the wrong stuff.
You want to destroy immediately any concept of rights or protection under the law. All you have to say is, but the kids, though.
Yeah.
And then they will justify complete annihilation of their 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. Now, again, all my drugs, so it didn't matter in this case. But there are households where there could be a raid, they'll arrest the parents, and then it turns out it's the kids' drugs. Like, that's not even theoretically possible. That happens.
Yeah.
And that kid can end up confessing to crimes and being charged for them.
Yeah, exactly. Josie says, don't give the cops and CPS reason to get involved in your life. Really, that is, you could just follow that sentence right there, and none of this would ever have to be an issue for you moving forward. It's just a general rule of thumb. Don't give outside entities reason to look into you. Again, I think where you went wrong is you involved Aaron Imholte into this whole clusterfuck of nonsense. And then you showed up on stream time and time Again, the government might suck. The government might be corrupt, whatever. I'd probably happen to agree with you on a lot of those takes. But again, much like Aaron, you're the one to blame for this situation. You have to be blaming yourself. It's not the government's fault. I mean, they might have handled things wrong. I don't know, man. Nor do I care. They probably did shit. They probably do shit every day that's fucked up and wrong, and they could have did things different. Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? But again, if you wouldn't have given them a reason to get involved or showed up on stream looking like, I mean, let's face it, the day you showed up on stream looking like death, the week of your arrest, I mean, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for people to break down your door, kick in your door with warrants and search warrants and questioning your children. I mean, you're just asking for it. Let's hear him out.
Without representation, which should be a violation, but it won't be because of how they do it. And it's fucking gross how...
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of hearing about due process and stuff. I'm like, no, it doesn't...
This guy's tired of hearing about due process. This guy, he don't even look like he knows how to spell due process.
I'm a little tired of hearing about due process and stuff.
Oh, are you? You're tired about hearing due process as you fold your arms in an uncomfortable
fucking
manner?
Gross.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of hearing about due process and stuff.
It's getting a little tired about hearing like due process and stuff.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of hearing about due process and stuff. I'm like, no, it doesn't exist.
Cool take. That's a cool fucking take. That's take of the day right there. Listen to this.
It won't be...
Look, he thought about this one too. This guy's going to be at Hackamania. Dick Masterson's going to be at Hackamania. One of your headlines.
Because of how they do it. And it's...
Watch him fold his arms, get a bright idea. He thought about this all on his own. He's going to fold the old arms and deliver. I mean, what a take. I mean, he's pretty much Stephen A. Smith of podcasting, this Dick Masterson. Delivering us hot take after hot
fucking
take.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of hearing about due process and stuff. I'm like, no, it doesn't exist. You guys said that the ghost gun ban shit is, or the ghost gun regulation shit is fine. Like,
and you know what's even more frightening is like, there's actually people that take advice from people like this, like people like actually structure their lives around what Dick Masterson and Nick Rekieta are talking about. That's the scary part. Take all of this for entertainment. Don't ever for 1 second structure your life or take advice from Mr. Due Process. I mean, how nuts. Nice podcast, stupid for $2. Says due process is for squares, man. I agree. Who needs due process? I mean, criminals, I guess, but don't be a criminal. I mean, really, I think is the biggest lesson here today.
I said that the ghost gun ban shit is, or the ghost gun regulation shit is fine. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's all registered. Like, okay, so we're not doing Constitution anymore. Get rid of them. 20 million people, put them in whatever. Planes, trains, automobiles, whatever you got, get them the fuck out of here. We're not doing trials.
So that's it's terrible when you can overtly...
That pisses me off.
You can watch the Constitution be shredded all day.
Yeah.
And it does happen these very specific things. But let's take a step back, because when you really think about it, your constitutional rights are only accessible after $100,000 of defense.
Yeah.
Like, because a cop can infringe on your rights all day, and they'll go, well, you can take care of it in court. It's like, I've already been to jail, lost my job, don't have income, and now I have to hire a lawyer to fight and maybe win the constitutional question. That's how constitutional rights, like, it's...
At $8 an hour or whatever minimum wage is.
Right. It's theoretical versus the practical. And the practical application of law is one that is minimum 5 figures.
Yeah.
And when you start getting to anywhere below upper middle class, like, you cannot afford even the most basic legal defense, and they know it. So your constitutional rights are great. You'll never access them to the full amount because you can't afford it. Nobody can.
Yeah.
The people who can will never have to encounter it.
Okay.
Okay, look, I don't even necessarily disagree with the take. I don't even disagree with that take. But again, it's as simple as don't break the fucking law, man. If you don't break the law, you don't have to worry about due process. I mean, imagine wandering around worrying about due process all day long, man. It's like, you just simply be a law-abiding citizen. You go about your day, do what you have to do, go to work, come home, keep your house and family in order, and all will be well in the world. Don't go around breaking laws, and then you don't have to worry about due fucking process, man. I mean, how insane. Again, if you do, then you'll be like Nick Rekieta, I guess. I mean, I don't know. There's Nick. A little update on Nick. Doing great, I guess. Him and his due process. Sky's a neighborhood for $4.99 says Dick looks like he's bald. But hold on, sorry, the chat's moved. Dick looks like he's bald, but CeeLo tapes hair to the back of his head. Well, it looks like a wig almost. It don't look like real hair. I could see where you're coming up with this. I don't know about bald, though. I'd have to go back and look. I don't think the locks. I think they're extensions. I think Dick Masterson probably has extensions. First of all, I mean, what are you doing? Nobody's hair should be that long. A guy's hair shouldn't be that long unless you're like Gene Simmons. And even his hair ain't that long. Unless you're in like an 80s metal band, your hair shouldn't be past your fucking ears. And if it is, and you're past the age of 40, I'm going to assume that you have hair extensions. And that's pretty fucking... It's pretty gay. It's pretty gay. Thank you, Sky, for the $4.99. All right, I want to do a little bit of this Melton and maybe this Mir Musk stuff. So I uncovered Patrick Melton, new Twitter account. Now, I bet you most people didn't even know this existed, but Patrick is masquerading around Twitter. He's got his his NLO Twitter got disabled and banned for hate speech. Actually, I don't know what it got banned for, but it is banned. Then he made a Patrick Melton DDS 1 and Patrick Melton DDS 2, I believe. And I don't think enough people even know this is what's happening right now. But let's show you. I came across this. I simply searched Patrick Melton on Twitter, and I didn't think this was him. But turns out this is Patrick Melton's second burner Twitter account. The ad handle is very funny. Aaron Imholte fan. Very hilarious. Self-employed former stand-up comedian. SFSUC. The website that he's got tagged here is kind of alarming. I'm not going to say what that is. You guys could see it on your own time. Am I able to zoom? Yep, there it is right there. Joined February 2024. So he's had this Twitter account for 2 years. You scroll down, and it's almost like he's really following in the Kumi footsteps here. A lot of racy stuff here. I mean, we see an Adolf Hitler post as white power. I mean, this is nuts. This is what Melton's doing in his spare time. When he's not commenting on the ins and outs of SteelToe, he's doing white power posts. He's retweeted a tweet that says, "Good morning. Reminder, Democrats all voted against a proof of citizenship requirement in order to vote in federal elections. Polling shows over 67% of the country supports." All right, so that's really nothing. Where's his tweets at? Now, this is, in fact, 1,000%. I verified this with Elon Musk himself, that this is Melton's second Twitter. I mean, if I were to tell you, if I were just simply to read the tweet and didn't tell you who this was, you would think this was Kumi's tweeting. Listen to this, Patrick Melton, DDS 2. Says, these animals aren't even remotely human. He's talking about this sweet creature here displayed on our screen. Let's just keep going down. I just want to show you a little bit before we actually get into what Melton's been up to this past week. Here's another one. Black people are unintelligent. I mean, Jesus, Melton. I didn't know he was this racially motivated here. Here's another one. Says tweet from Patrick Melton DDS number 2 says, "Fuck black people." I mean, yikes. Don't want to be tweeting that. And this, look, I mean, it is in fact Melton. It is in fact Patrick Melton. Patrick Melton DDS. Go search it out on your own time. It's pretty insane. But here it is. Here's his picture and all with the onion. So just before you start, and pimples, and look at the welts on his face. So before you sit there thinking it's not, again, I verified this with Musk himself. So take that up with Elon. So I wanted to show you that because I don't see anyone covering Patrick's undercover Twitter, but we figured it out, Patrick. We know what you're up to. Just because you're making posts about black people, don't make it's not going to, Anthony Cumia ain't going to like you any less. I want to start off with last night's NLO. I want to show you the quick beginning. So like I mentioned earlier on in this show, I don't know, I guess Melton, I don't know what he thought. I don't know how he thought this was a good idea, but essentially he finds out Aaron Imholte pretty much is going to walk scot-free. He did a 6-hour show, gets towards the end of his show, and somebody comes in with the request, hey, man, for how much would it cost to hold shit over your head? Human feces, fecal matter, if you will. To which Melton says, first of all, if somebody asked me this, I'd say there's no amount of money in the world I would take to shit and then hold it up as the baby Simba over my head. Wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be caught dead doing something so humiliating. So the fact that he even went along with this is kind of bizarre. So he goes $10,000 and I'll shit in my hands and hold it up. And it's nuts. It's nuts. If you think I'm lying, let me show you the clip here. This is Melton as of yesterday. Did a second stream. So this was his second stream of the day. And he was hoping to make 10 grand. And the bit was, and again, I don't know what the bit is. I know the bit, the punchline, I don't know what the punchline was going to be, but the bit is the shit in my hand, poop in my hands, and we're going to hold it up over my head. That's the bit. I don't know what the joke is in that bit, but let's hear him out just in case you think that's not true or Melton would never do such a thing. He's above this. He's not. He's not. He'll do anything for cash.
Okay. This is just a bonus show. I want to make it very clear here. I'm wearing my brown hat. I want to make it very clear. I don't for 1 minute think this is going to happen.
Well, no. See, I think you do. I think you might not think it's, but you do think that there's a possibility that this could happen. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shown up. If you didn't think something was going to happen, I mean, why bother showing up?
Okay. I don't.
You held out hope to make 10 grand.
No.
And to shit in your hand.
I don't. I was asked how much money would it take for me to hold my own shit above my head like in.
I mean, so there you have it. So again, we have just, I mean, criminals running rampant in and around this universe. You know, we have guys willing to shit in their own hand. We have guys like Zumach not being able to figure out and understand the pronunciation of an abbreviation of the state that in which they live in. We have people calling people monsters one day and then the next day they're best friends. I mean, I feel like I've stepped into some sort of Stranger Things upside down parallel dimension where up is down is up, and left is right and right is left. And shitting in your hand is actually cool. Hey, if you can make 10 G's, fuck it, shit in my mouth, bro. I mean, what's next? If you're willing to shit, my problem is if you're willing to shit in your hand and hold it up on stream, what won't you do, Melton? What is it that you won't do? Oh, he's edgy. He'll do it all. Is that cool? Is that right? I mean, are people hearing me out when I'm saying that he's going to make a bowel movement into his own hands and hold it up over his head in some sort of shaming ritual, humiliation ritual. Maybe this is Melton's humiliation ritual. Now, spoiler alert, it didn't happen. Because, I mean, people actually wisened up and they were like, all right, even if we could give you the 10 grand, I'm not sure I'm ready to stomach you I'm not sure if I'm able to stomach seeing you with poo. And this, mind you, this is a 45-year-old grown man wearing the hat cream. I mean, cool hat, bro. Where'd you get that at? Lids? I remember the last time I shopped at Lids. Never. I'd never shopped at Lids. You wouldn't catch me dead in that store. Imagine going to Lids. Hey, man, you got any new hats? I really like that green hat you got there in brown. How much for the hat, man? Cool hat, bro. Cool.
I was asked how much money would it take?
1 cup, 1 hat, says MG. Yeah, 1 cup, 1
to
hat.
hold my own shit above my head, like in the movie Say Anything. $10,000. $10,000. It's an amount that is a lot, but also is not unobtainable. And I'm rounding up to the nearest 100 here. We've done the calculations on the past show. And we're at 8. We need 8,700.
All right, so he's dead serious about this. This was last night. Again, spoiler alert. Thank God the audience finally said, yeah, we've had enough. We don't want the shit. Please. We'll pass on the shit, actually. We got to go to April 7th. There's just a few things. One of this has to pertain to SteelToe. And when I show you guys this, I mean, not that it's a massive deal, but it's pretty alarming, I'd say. I just want to show you 3 things here. We're going to open up with Melton talking about his Tesla. Again, Tesla talks, owning a Tesla, unless, I mean, you're a trans or, no offense, but this is just the God honest truth. Unless you're a trans or a female or a trans female or a female looking into being trans, you probably shouldn't own a Tesla. Even if it's a cyber beast or cyber truck. Teslas, I mean, just buy an old gas guzzler. Because listen, there's going to be a time, or I take that back. I'll add environmentalists to the list as well, but they're pretty much halfway to becoming trans females. Anyway, my point is there's going to be a time where we're not able to drive gas cars anymore. And we're going to wish we had gas guzzlers and Corvettes and Mustangs and badass cars that are loud and obnoxious and, you know, that knock your fucking socks off when you're next to it. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why you probably shouldn't buy a Tesla. You're going to have to really come up with those own answers on yourself. If you think owning a Tesla is the move in 2025, you're horribly mistaken. You're horribly mistaken. Do a quick DuckDuckGo search as to why Teslas aren't it, and then, you know, proceed to watch this program. Furthermore, to continue on bragging and discussing your Tesla as if it's some sort of cool, hip, trend thing to do. Oh, I'm a trendy guy. I'm Melton. I hold shit over my head. I have a Tesla. It ain't cool, bro. It ain't cool. Maybe it was cool 7 years ago or 8 years ago when Teslas first hit the market. Look at this computer on wheels. It's awesome. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Maybe then it was cool. Not in 2025. Teslas aren't cool in 2025. I'm here to tell you that here today. And, you know, I take my gas guzzler 10 times out of 10 any day during the week. than owning a Tesla. Not Melton, though. Melton loves his Tesla. And we're going to hear Tesla talk here in the beginning and some other weird topics he's going to dive into. Again, you see, I was mentioning this welt he had earlier on his face. I've monitored this welt for the better part of 6 months. He's had this welt on his face for close to 6 months, if not more. So, like, I know there's doctors you could go to, especially like in the greater Las Vegas area, where they actually will drain the pus pocket on your face. Melton, instead of worrying about your Tesla, instead of worrying about what SteelToe is having for breakfast, or, you know, the next move SteelToe does, or the next time Donkey Lips makes a toilet taco, whatever the fuck he's got going on there in Bowerland, why don't you drive your happy ass, your shit-handing ass, that makes sense, down to a pus pocket extracting doctor who could extract this welt off your face. I mean, that thing looks like it weighs like 77 pounds. I mean, imagine having a 77-pound pus pocket on your face. I mean, think about the sheer pain like your face would have. Like, it's just, you're being dragged down by a pocket of pus. Go down to a doc. Well, see, the problem is Melton doesn't have insurance. So an operation such as extracting a pus pocket, I mean, is probably upwards of, like, coincidentally enough, $10,000. So that's probably why he was trying to shit in his hand. Maybe because, now it's all making sense. The reason why Melton was trying to raise funds, $10,000, and he was willing to shit in his own hands, was because he was trying to get the pus pocket removal operation because his lack of insurance. It's actually all starting to make sense. Anyway, I mean, it's just it's disgusting to look at. Again, you know, you're one of these plus size individuals. Again, it's already enough for me to look at, but I'm trying to look past it. And now I'm met with this. What is it? It looks like an alien hive has set up shop. Aliens have invaded the Earth, and all of the aliens in the world have set up shop on Melton's cheek. I mean, this is actually what's happening. And you could kind of see there's like 3 more growing on the other side of his face. What are these things? These abrasions, these pus pockets, these alien colonies? I guess we'll never know. But I hope the big fella could somehow take care of it. I hope it's not cancer. And it's just a casual pus pocket, you see. Anyway, he's got Tesla talk, and he's going to be talking about his dog. Don't be one of these people, by the way. If you hear dog talk on a podcast, you automatically have a connection with the host because you also own a dog. Don't fall into that trap. I see way too many people fall into the trap of, oh, look at this guy or gal. They own a dog, so they must be a good person. They must be a truth-telling individual. That simply is not the case. Just because they own a dog and they decide to talk, I'd venture to guess. I'd go out on a limb and say anybody who's talking about their dog when it's just out of nowhere is almost shadier than bass players. You know what I mean? There's no reason to, unless you're doing a dog style podcast where your dog is like the co-host or your dog is barking in the background, like sometimes Butters is with me, and you got to, Butters, what's going on? I'm not telling you all the times I'm bringing Butters to the dog park or letting Butters out on a walk or Butters is taking a nice shit. Not in my hand, by the way. It's almost like a dishonest talking point. Again, because you'll be able to connect to like 80% of the people in the live chat. Oh, he has a dog. He must not be that bad of a guy. No. Melton is a bad guy with rotten pus pockets and okay, you get the point. Alien hives on his face. Anyway, let's hear him out.
Hi, welcome. I'm sorry about a very busy day. I had to take my
Shades Cow says everybody in Vegas has a Tesla. Everybody. Well, that's kind of scary, isn't it? The land of Teslas, Las Vegas. Looks like I won't be going to Vegas anytime soon.
Tesla in for service. These things are pieces of shit. These are giant.
Mind you, he's taking his Tesla in for service. He's only had the Tesla for maybe a month and a half, tops, 2. It's already going in for service.
Pieces of shit, robotic.
Now, I'd almost go on a limb and say his Tesla didn't need to be serviced. It's just a way to make a little bit of cash. I'll tell everyone my Tesla needs service. They'll feel bad for me. They'll give me more money. It's as plain as simple as that.
Pieces of shit. I had a wind noise. I told you after I went and got the windows tinted. I heard a wind noise on my driver's side, so they're fixing that, and they loaned me this. They said, Patrick, you can have a loaner. You're under warranty. And they said you can have anything you want. You can have any car you want for the loaner.
Oh, we got to pause this one quick second. I'm taking myself off cam for 1 second. I'll still be here, though. Let's just pause. We'll go right back into...
And I really
Patrick.
thought about getting that Cybertruck that all the kids are driving. But then I thought, that won't really even fit in my garage. To get a Cybertruck, it just seems irresponsible. Also, I got to be honest, I'm scared of driving that. It's so big, and it has that crab walking 4-wheel steering and stuff. Plus, again, the garage. That's the number one thing. The garage. You can't even fit it in. So I got the Model X Plaid. They gave me a Model X Plaid. This thing, I thought my car was quick. I can't even. And I will say it is a nicer, it's more luxurious. It's got all the cooled seats. The doors open automatically when you walk up to it. The doors close automatically when you get in. It's way more robot stuff to it, like the kids do. Anyway, it's April.
I just keep saying kids, by the way. A guy who's accused has some of these pedo stigma around him. I mean, I think it would behoove you to talk about kids this much. The Cybertruck where all the kids are doing and all the kids and the kids. Why is everything kid related with you, dog? That's a bit weird. I'm not saying you're, a pedo, but you don't help your case when you're constantly bringing up children.
Close automatically when you
as a reference point, by the
get
way.
in. It's way more robot stuff to it, like the kids do. Anyway, it's
like the kids do. Oh, I can't stand. And I was picking up on this more yesterday. I was listening to yesterday's show, the NLO show, and I just can't get over, that the nasally lisp. It's like, again, Flonase, dog. Flonase. Use some Flonase, please. I mean, this is really distracting as a listener, especially if you're just listening to a podcast and you're hearing a guy with a lisp like this and not his nasal passageway is as clogged as Melton's. It's extremely distracting. So can we work on this, please?
April. This is your April gang, I guess. This is your...
Right, so he's going into this.
Like,
Let's go to his dog talk.
I don't want to tell you how many thousands of dollars I spent on the stock market today, but it was a lot. And it's going to take a while to get it all back. So you're going to need to contribute, buy some memberships, help me hit the goal.
Melton's a stock guy.
Especially Tommy from Rhode Island, our executive producer for today. We're going to...
Okay, we got to go to 6:20, where Melton has been. So this was, I believe, Monday. And Melton, up until this point, did a show Friday. It was a 2-hour show. He usually does his members-only show. There was no sight of the members-only show. Then he said he'd be back Saturday. There was no sight of him on Saturday or Sunday. People were like, where's Melton? What's going on? And he's going to give us the answer here.
Today, and I want to say this. I really did mean to do another members show on Saturday, and then I just didn't do it. And then I just didn't. And then I meant to do it Sunday, and then I just didn't. My dog had an emergency. I had to go to the doggy emergency room. Doggy!
His doggy had an emergency. Now listen to what happened to the dog.
She's going to be okay. She's on painkillers. I don't know what she did. She was...
I don't know what she did, he says. That's going to be important.
Running around.
So you know what she did. I don't know what she did. Well, she was running around. No, so you know what she did. We're going to hear him out. I don't think any of this actually happened. Because when you hear his explanation, you're going to be like, Melton doing the thing he says he's doing. It just, the two don't go together. The two don't go together. It's like opposite and negative. It's like the opposite ends of a magnet. They repulse each other. I think it's something more heinous. I think it's something more vicious. I think even possibly a mishap.
Painkillers. I don't know what she did. She was running around when we went hiking.
There it is. We went hiking. Okay, first glance, do you think a guy like Patrick Melton is spending his free time hiking? I mean, let's be real. The only place you're hiking to, dog, is the fridge. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Was running around when we went hiking, and she was chasing rabbits and birds, and she was really hauling ass. So I figured she either hurt her foot or sprained her leg or something, and now she's limping her left back leg. She's just limping on it like a fucking useless sack of dog.
So the story is Melton and his dog were out hiking, and she was chasing a rabbit or a bird. Melton couldn't tell the difference between the two. And the dog now has just begun to limp. It's developed a limp. And now Melton had to take the dog to a doggy doctor, to which the dog is now severely addicted to morphine and Oxycontin. Justice for that dog. I don't think any of that happened. I don't think that's the story. I mean, maybe the Oxycontin and morphine part, but I think more along the lines of what happened is Melton was being careless, and he simply just sat on the dog. He sat on the poor pup's leg, and the dog is now dealing with a broken leg because Melton was too careless, too reckless. Let's listen to a little bit more.
And so they examined her. She seems fine. She's on gabapentin and, some anti-inflammatory, pain-relieving nonsense or something. And I'm not allowed to run. I'm not allowed to run her. I got to stop her from getting zoomies. Try to stop a doodle from running. It's almost impossible. She's leaping up the stairs. She's bounding down the stairs. She's running outside. She's barking at people, wheeling their trash cans out. I had to take the, when I close my swim spa up, she likes to jump up on the stairs and get on top of the swim spa so she can look over the wall and survey everyone. She thinks she's like the queen of the world. I had to take that away so she can't be leaping.
So you pretty much get the point. All right, let's go to, I think we got one more clip from here. Or actually, we have two more. 1456. No one's going to bring up a pretty cool topic. What all the cool kids are talking about these days. Dire wolves.
Fuck, do I want a dire wolf puppy? I know it's irrational. I don't care. I'm retarded. See you in Vegas, Patty.
Why is everybody getting so into the dire wolves now? They're talking about, I saw some clip, was it Joe Rogan? I saw some clip on YouTube. They were talking about bringing dire wolves back. I thought dire wolves were just those things that were in Game of Thrones. They're not real, but I don't know. I don't know how true any of that is. Can we go over and look at?
Oh, cool story. Cool story. So Chad brings up dire wolves. Melton elaborates on dire wolves, but he has no idea on what any of it is. I just thought it was a thing in Game of Thrones. Turns out I was wrong. I actually don't know what any of it is. Well, cool story. Can you tell us more about a dire wolf, please? All right, this doesn't really have to pertain to Melton. 319.52. It has to do with SteelToe. All right, we'll just go to 319.49. So I was just scrolling the timeline here last night, watching Melton, catching up on what I missed in this week of Opie and SteelToe, and I was drawn in. And then Melton started to go over SteelToe's members-only stream, which this is the thumbnail we are now presented with. Now, at first glance, it's just a regular SteelToe. Here, let's go back on screen here. It's just a regular SteelToe thumbnail. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. Until you look a little closer, until you observe a little closer and you understand what I'm seeing here. So, what I'm seeing here is the thumbnail, the picture of Corey Adam comedy. It's a nice pic, you might say. Where might one get that pic? Well, I'll tell you. That picture that Aaron had displayed on his thumbnail. First of all, we know Aaron just grabs random images, random JPEGs on the internet to put into his shitty fucking garbage thumbnails every day. But furthermore, he's gone to the length of, you could Google this image, by the way. Google Corey Adam comedy. Nothing comes up of this image. This image is a thumbnail I previously made back, I think it was March 15th, 2023. Corey Adam Canned Watch continues. I had put this thumbnail together, did a whole Corey Adam episode. This is when Corey, I think, was about to get canned or had just gotten canned. So Aaron literally typed in Corey Adam comedy. I don't even think he talked about Corey Adam. So I don't even know how this picture made it into Aaron. My thumbnail is on Aaron's hard drive. That to me is a little insane and alarming in its own right. But secondly, you can't find this image on Google. So you YouTubed Corey Adam comedy, scrolled down about 12 vids, found Win by Two's coverage of Corey Adam comedy, thought it was a cool thumbnail to put in your fucking garbage thumbnail, and then voila. And you didn't think Win by Two would catch it. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Win by Two catches it. And he called it. So I don't know what this means. I would send my lawyers after you, but it appears that you just plead things down and you're Teflon, so I'm not going to waste my resources. Just hear me out, SteelToe. I don't give you permission to use any of my pictures. You fucking half-witted twerp. Anyway, and so I just thought it was insane. Go back. I'm serious. Maybe after this show, Win by Two, March 15th, 2023, Corey Adam Canned Watch. You'll find this exact thumbnail that I made. So that is the week of Patrick. I mean, we have some other clips of Melton really just ball washing Cumia and sucking up Dopey. Maybe we'll go over it at a different time on the next show, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Just for the sake of time, I think I want to do one more thing. I wanted to do this Mir Musk thing because, like I said, I thought it was the best show, one of the most funniest shows. It had to do with Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, who is here today in the chat. Dan, shout out. Like I mentioned earlier, I learned Dan had a fag for a sister. Didn't know this was actually the truth. But Dan somehow found his way on to the most prestigious podcast that this world has to offer, and that is the Mir Musk program. And I say that unsarcastically. I say that completely serious. So without further ado, I'll say the Tom Meyer stuff as well. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mir Musk featuring Dan from the Nice Podcast Stupid brand. Guys, please, round of applause for the gentleman. Trying to share my screen here. All right, let's see. Dan, Nice Podcast Stupid, Mir Musk. Here we go. A little share action going. Let's break this down. So last thing we do, thank you for everyone who tuned in today, everyone who contributed into the show. If you like on your way out, hit the like, dislike button, hit your mom, hit your dad, hit your wife, hit your pets. I don't care. Just do something. Do something instead of just sitting on your ass. Okay? But let's go. This is the show. Like I said, number 63, Mir Musk, funniest show of the year thus far. Changed my mind. Stephen Crowder.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another rendition of Mir
So
Musk,
off first
episode
glance,
63.
Mir gone away for some time. He hasn't been on. I think he just started recently making his debut back into podcasting, dipping his toes back into podcasting. I hadn't seen a Mir Musk episode probably since the Mersh episode all those months ago or whenever. Didn't you have Mersh on in like the fall, or was that like last year? I think that was actually almost 2 years ago, which is even more insane. My point is, it's been a while since I've seen a Mir Musk episode. Mir, at first glance, is looking very straggly. It looks like he's gone anti-beard trimmer, anti-razor blade, doesn't like to shave. He's given up on shaving for Lent, possibly, you might ask. So you got Mir to the left. You got Nice Podcast Stupid Dan to the right, who's typically in this chat. I don't necessarily have a problem with. I definitely think after this episode, there was a little bit of what we like to call oversharing. And Dan lets out some secrets about himself, which I didn't know about this. And if have I known, I would have removed him from the chat months ago. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe even worse, actually. Let's listen to this brilliance here on display. Let's watch the intro take place.
Yeah, the Nice Podcast Stupid interview. And Dan, it's an honor to have you on, sir. I've seen your name all over the Twitterscape or whatever you call it, Xscape, and you are somewhat of a commodity nowadays, as they would say.
So I don't know if this is a troll by Mir. I mean, is Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid a quote unquote commodity? Are people in the business of trading Nice Podcast Stupid's brand? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Mir's on to something. Maybe Mir sees something that I don't.
And you are somewhat of a commodity nowadays, as they would say.
Is that what you'd call me, a commodity? I'd say more of a shit stirrer.
It's like, I'm not a commodity, man. I'm basically I'm just a troll, just a basic troll.
A ne'er-do-well, a piece of shit, a backstabber.
It's not on my end, by the way. Dan's going to have more audio problems ahead. So if you hear audio problems, not me.
I get called a lot of things
on this one.
But it's a pleasure to be here. It's funny. I've been getting.
So Mir's already started. He's already drinking some twisted teas. Caps. I think I counted maybe 8 twisted teas. I mean, actually, I don't know if these are actually twisted teas. They're some sort of alcoholic beverage, but my point still remains. He consumed about 8. We've known this from Little Mir. He likes to really get fucking blitzed while doing an interview. He don't like to just sit in his sober mind and his nice beard and his cool background of flags. Cool flags, bro. He likes to get obliterated. And who am I to stop him, right? Who am I to stop him? Let's keep listening.
Shit on from various people like, nobody watches your show. You're fucking nobody. It's like, It's not about the size of the audience. It's about how much.
It's not about the size of the boat. It's about the motion of the ocean. That's what I thought.
Fucking nobody. It's like, It's not about the size of the audience. It's about how much you can shake things up. And I think we have that in common. It's like, we're both stars in our own little worlds, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I'm excited to talk to you.
No, I'm excited to talk to you too. I actually do like that you said that, because you really don't need a large audience to.
All right, let's go to the boys discuss how you don't need a large audience, which I guess is debatable. We'll go to the first clip, 150. Now, again, Little Mir knows Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, says it right there in nice pink and white lettering. Mir's going to completely swing and miss on the name Nice Podcast.
You're exposing a lot of things about yourself, who you are as a person, your vices, and vice versa. So let's dive back in the beginning. What inspired you to really truly create Nice Stupid Podcast, and what inspired that?
Nice Stupid Podcast. I don't want to talk about any of this stuff anymore. Let's get back into what makes Dan. Let's get into how you co-created or created Nice Stupid Podcast. I mean, to me, that's awesome. To me, that's, great. The name is right there. He's literally looking at the name. I guess Mir might be dyslexic and is incapable of reading straight through. That would be my conclusion.
Inspired you to really truly create nice stupid podcasts, and what inspired that name also?
Okay, so I mean, whatever. It's just a little small one. I just thought that was a nice, funny moment by Mir, getting the name mixed up. I don't know if it's a troll. I don't know if he actually got the name mixed up. Maybe a bit of both. We'll go to 9 minutes. Just gonna run through these real quick. We'll go to 9 minutes in. This is where Dan's letting us all know that he's actually playing a character as he's doing the show. Little Mir is going to actually let us know that he's not playing a character. What you see is what you get. 100% authentic from Little Mir at all times. Even the alcohol, it's not a prop. It's not O'Doul's. It's real alcohol. He really, loves to rap and all that. But let's listen to
shows, and you probably know this as well, and I know Chow definitely knows this, is this isn't necessarily Dan, right? This isn't like Dan, the guy that you meet at my job.
At the
this
bar,
is Dan,
right?
Yeah. So I got to have a little bit of like a character play to it. So, maybe I'm a little arrogant.
Like I told Bob Levy, no, this is all me, bro. I'm this fucking crazy.
He's this fucking crazy. You told Bob Levy this. So you told Bob Levy something. You know it's fucking
drunk all the time.
24.
He's drunk all the time, he says. Now, that's pretty alarming, given that he's, I believe, a new father. It's not responsible for a new father.
Like I told Bob.
To be drunk all the time. He says, this is what you see is what you get. I'm always drunk. So are you trying to tell us something, Mir? Do you need help? AA, possibly? NA, possibly? CA, possibly? I mean, I don't know. What are you trying to tell us? Mir?
Believe you, no, this is all me, bro. I'm this fucking crazy and this fucking drunk all the time.
24/7.
24/7, baby. So basically
I don't think that's the brag you think it is. To be drunk 24/7 is, I mean, it's pretty fucking, it's pretty low. Nobody should be drunk 24/7. Maybe 18.5. Maybe a little 15.4, not 24/7. If you're drunk 24/7, probably, I mean, you're Geno Bisconti. You're Geno Bisconti. And nobody wants to be Geno Bisconti. I'd rather chop off both my arms than be Geno Bisconti. That's a fucking fact.
You're not the real you. You're placating an aspect of a character, which is good because you need characters, honestly, because, I mean, if you put this in your own regular life, it's going to be a shit show. That's why you see a lot of people crash out when they do these shows, because they're so bombastic to the point where, it just affects your daily life and you're fucked. So that's good that you're able to dissociate yourself from the character and then continue on with your daily life. So I got the name and everything like that. So sorry, excuse me. I'm fucking hammered.
Fucking hammered. I mean, what you see is what you get.
And then continue on with your daily life. So I got the name and everything like that.
He's got the name. 10 minutes of the show, he's figured out the name. Nice. Is it stupid and podcast nice or podcast nice stupid?
So sorry, excuse me. I'm fucking hammered.
He's fucking blitzed right now. He's seeing triple. You don't even know his own name. Mir so.
So what kind of brought in, like, what is your content? I kind of want to understand.
What is your content about? I mean, what is your content about? I mean, truly, Lil Mir, I think, is the Larry King of the hackverse. 1047. One thing Dan does well. Mir gives off
about them and talking about a lot of different topics. I think one thing,
Dan's a sale guy
that
I don't like sale guys.
I do well, if I'm going to toot my own horn, is I'm in sales.
Lost me there. You lost me there, Dan. You lost me there.
Thing that I do well, if I'm going to toot my own horn, is I'm in sales.
One of the most egregious thing a person could be is a sales guy. And the reason being is because I don't know if when you're not or when you are selling me. How do I know that you're just not trying to sell me 24/7, as Mir said eloquently earlier. I don't want to be sold anything. Look at earlier today on this stream when I was Rumble was trying to sell me on parasite pills. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I'll come to you if I want parasite pills, Dan. All right, now's not the time. My dog just died. I mean, give me a chance to grieve here for a second. I'm just kidding. My dog actually didn't die, but you get my point. Give me a fucking second. I mean, I don't want the parasite pills. I'm good. I feel like Rumble, like Dan is like the sales guy for
that
Rumble.
I do well.
So he's going to go off into this. Little Mir is just going to start giving off some sales sayings here. I thought this was adorable.
To my own horn is I'm in sales. So I talk for a living. I sell for a living.
Look at Mir's got it. Mir knows what that sale mentality is.
I'm in sales. So I talk for a living. I sell for a living. I can pretty much conversate about anything.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
I think that's like the first thing they tell you in like any sales job ever. It's like literally, I think Jordan Belfort and Wolf of Wall Street, like this is like their slogan: money talks and bullshit takes the bus or something. You got it, Mir. That's a good sales thing.
For a living, I can pretty much conversate.
Did you Google that?
Anything.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
You got it. And money never sleeps. Money talks.
Now they're both just doing sales.
And I have a great co-host too, which is.
All right, we'll go to 1325. Mir's off the rails. Dan has a Freudian slip about Chad. I thought this was a little. So right now, Chad hates Dan. I don't hate Dan. I think, like I said, he gave us a little bit more insight into who he is. And maybe he does this on the nice podcast, Stupid. I only tune in for the Hackverse coverage, Dan. No offense. But right now, Dan and Chad are beefing with one another because Dan pretty much called Chad, in layman's terms, a broke bitch. Chad is now in full-on war with Dan, and Dan's life is about to be turned upside down due to the mud shark. You know, when the mud shark sets his fucking eyes and sets his fucking focus, shifts his fucking energy to any podcast, the mud shark is incapable, or is capable rather, of, I mean, really making your life a living hell. Just kidding, of course. It's Chad Zumach. Who are we kidding? But I just thought this was interesting. Listen.
One of the things I'm proud about is, and I think everyone should aspire to this in life, is get to a place in your life, in your career, or whatever, where you just don't give a fuck. And no one's going to tell you what you can do. Now, within reason, you can't go out and just drop N-bombs and F-bombs.
I mean, why not, though? Why not?
In some cases.
I mean, you could do anything you want. You might get punched in the face or shot, depending on what area you're in. But I mean, why let that stop you, Mir? Go out, yell the N-word.
I don't have the ability to do that necessarily.
No, you don't want to cause trouble in your community. But if you're, if you want to say like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like that, you're.
I mean, what? What?
If you want to say like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like that, you're good to go. Like.
Oh my God! We're not even 15 minutes into the show. We're already doing F the J's and
say
N's.
Like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like.
I need this on a soundboard stat. K McDuck, where you at?
If you're, if you want to say like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like that, you're good to go. Like
you're good to go. Just go out and say it. Go to your local Publix, your local ShopRite, Walmart, Sam's Club, wherever you got to go, and just say this and say, look, I watched a podcast called Mir Musk number 63 with Dan from Nice Stupid Podcast. And they said, just to do whatever you want. Fuck it.
Like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like that, you're good to go. Like
they told me I was good to go. Why are you shooting me in the head?
I want to say like something like "fuck the Jews" or "nigger" or something like that, you're good to go. Like it don't matter, right?
I will support your right to say that. Let's put it that way. I don't know
why you're so scared. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, because what ends up happening is then people will clip it and they'll say, and then they'll send it to my employer and stuff. But at the end of the day, what I am comfortable in saying is, well, first off, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm not doing this to get rich like some people. I'm not like there's some people, and I'm not going to name any names, but maybe people that Chad are.
Whoa. Okay. So this, I thought, a little Freudian slip by Dan. I'm not doing this to get rich, Dan's saying. I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this to make a lot of shekels like the Jews. Just kidding. I love you, Jews. And he's like, I'm not going to name names or anything like that. I'm not here to be rich. I'm not here to name names like Chad. I mean, whoops.
Well, first off, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm not doing this to get rich like some people. I'm not like there's some people, and I'm not going to name any names, but maybe people that Chad.
I mean, you're right, Dan. When you're right, you're right. I will give you kudos where kudos is due. If Chad made $0, if Chad made no money on his podcast, do you think Chad would do another episode of Kumia's Cucks? The answer is no. The answer is no, he wouldn't. Hey, Chad, how's your public ZTV going? Public access ZTV, how's that going? Oh, it's off the air? I wonder why. Weren't making any money, were you? And has a point. Whether he's a salesman or not. Podcast is off the rails. Nick from Fort Wayne, one of a chatter in this chat room at times, comes in, says he brought his wife. I think he fucks up a word and meant to put bought his wife because Dan, I think, it's alleged that Dan has a mail-ordered bride and has bought his wife. I don't know this to be true. Mir snaps.
Hey, real quick.
Perfect because
Nick, hang on real quick. Hey, Nick, he brought his wife or he bought his wife. I don't know how stupid you are, but you know it's better than having his wife who makes you pay for everything to the same aspect of she tells you, oh, do this, do that, and she controls every aspect of your life, right, buddy? So why don't you shut the fuck up and let the men talk? All right, you fucking simp cuck. All right.
I mean, wow. If I was Nick from Fort Wayne, I'm immediately ripping my Ethernet cable out of the wall and moving to another sector of the internet. If I was just humiliated like this, I'm just not that big of a deal. But I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. Nick from Fort Wayne.
Pay for everything to the same aspect of she tells you, oh, do this, do that, and she controls every aspect of your life, right, buddy? So why don't you shut the fuck up and let the men talk? All right, you fucking simp cuck. All right, continue,
yeah, Nick. Dan's like, okay.
I just
yes. a lot of my fans are in the chat. Nick loves me. Dick fits well. No, she's Brazilian. She doesn't speak much English.
All right, 2250. 2250 comes rolling around. Dan's sister is a lesbo, we come to find out, and Mir is shocked. Much like me. I was perplexed when I heard this.
Yeah, but my sister has kids, and there's yeah, and they actually have my last name.
Wait, she kept her husband allowed her to keep her last name.
Well, she has a wife.
What?
I need that on a soundboard as well.
Her husband allowed her to keep her last name.
Well, she has a wife.
What? What? Hang on.
Yeah, my sister is a lesbian, and so her kids have my last name.
I mean, okay.
Mir's processing this right now in his drunken mind. Because you got to understand, a guy like Little Mir, his whole algorithm is this whole based and what's not based and what is based, and the Jews are infiltrating, and Alex Jones is, the truth. Now, look, I think Alex Jones is great in doses, just like anything. Anything in doses is great. When you start listening to everything or certain things and turning that into gospel, you start to get lost. And then you start to think all of which is being said from one side or another is factual. And that could be kind of dangerous. That could lead to, you ending up in a cult somewhere. And that's what I fear may be happening to Little Mir. He's all about being based and not based and what is based. And you're based, I'm based. So I just think this. So he hears Dan's sister being Les. Obviously, that's not based. And he's going to start degrading Dan from this point on. Well, degrading Dan's sister, but using Dan to degrade Dan's sister. Let's watch.
My last name.
I mean, okay.
So I don't know if that's based or not, but
well, I mean, yeah, huh? Exactly. I'm like, wait a minute here. Let's dive into that because there's obviously some issues going on in the home. If someone's daughter's coming out as
some
lesbian,
issues going on in the home.
So,
well, my sister was an athlete. She was a basketball player. So that's kind of like if you get into it was less about the abuse and more about the
abuse. What abuse?
There was no. I'm just saying there was no abuse.
Oh, okay.
So like it wasn't like she was like.
All right, we got to go to 26 minutes. This is where the first F-bomb is dropped by Little Mir.
You know, I used to be gay. My thing is like.
Okay, we got to go back on that one first.
Hope you don't think that I'm anti-black or anti-gay or whatever. Like I love gay people. You know, I used to be gay. My thing is like. It's so refreshing to me that you can see like all these people and all these ideologies and all these circumstances of life can all correlate within each other and also be a part of a bigger picture. Like you have a faggot for a sister.
I mean, Jesus Christ. And Dan, like, nothing? If someone called my sister a faggot, I mean, I'd jump through the screen and chop his fucking beard
also
off.
Be a part of a bigger picture. Like you have a faggot for a sister, which is cool.
Dan's just nodding along. Yes.
Bigger picture. Like you have a faggot for a sister, which is cool.
Jesus.
Because even though you might not agree with her lifestyle, you are so loving towards her. You still
Oh my God. Now we're getting into the philosophy of the family dynamic as to why the sister's a fag. I mean, what is happening? Let's go to 33 minutes. The second and third F-bombs are dropped here. And boy, were they bombs. 33 minutes, Little Mir talking to Dan about Dan's sister being Les.
I could dive more into you.
Okay.
So
let's dive more into you, Dan, as if we haven't been talking about you and your gay sister the entire time.
What else would you like to know, Little Mir?
You're raising a family where your sister's a fag. You're struggling to athletic.
We prefer to use the term lesbian or homosexual, but yes, correct.
So Dan gets a little, okay, look, you've been saying now my sister's a fag for the last 15 minutes. God forbid my sister ever sees this. I'm not sticking up for her in any which way. I'm just letting this kind of punk kid continue to call her a fag. So Dan says, well, we prefer the term homosexual or even, what's he say, gay or something? Lesbian, I think he says. And then Little Mir, quadruples down. And
we prefer to use the term lesbian or homosexual, but yes, correct.
Come on, bro. Don't be a bitch. She's a faggot. It's okay.
Jesus.
You can say that here. Cool broadcast, idiot. You can suck my dick, Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, wait, that is gay. Never mind.
You know what's funny?
Jesus Christ. Okay, 47 minutes. The clip says, the only thing I do agree with Mir. I forget what this is even about.
Especially,
I sent Chad I DM'd him. I told him some ideas. I said you should do like.
Okay, so Dan's gonna admit that he was in Chad Zumach's DMs, giving him ideas. Mir's gonna have to put Dan on Front Street here. I do agree with Mir on this one. Look, don't be sending guys ideas on how to do their show. It's very, as Little Mir would say, faggoty. It's not cool. Don't do it. There's no, look, people are like bombarded with emails and text and DMs every day about nonsense. The last thing we need to do, or we need, is people telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing on our show. Like, we'll figure that out. Now, the only thing I will say is Chad is a man who's incapable of coming up with things by himself. So Chad does need a little assistance. So I'd say the exception to the rule is Chad Zumach. You could DM him all you want about ideas. And I encourage that, actually. I think more people should start DMing Chad on a daily basis ideas about how to run and operate his show. Chad is pretty much idealist. But Mir's going to freak out on Dan here. I kind of agree with this to a certain extent.
Especially,
I sent Chad I DM'd him. I told him some ideas. I said you should do like Like he does the TMZ Zumach. I said, you should just make that a show. Like just do a show and you talk about like gossip. You can even
Why
like,
are you doing
tell
that,
lies.
man?
Because I'm a nice guy. I was trying to give him
No,
a good
you're
idea.
not. You're a fag. Why are you fucking hitting up Chad in the private DMs for show ideas? I don't get that. Are you his fucking manager? Like, I don't get why you're doing that. Are you a fucking faggot? I don't get it, dude. Like, why are you trying to do that?
I liked Chad for a while. I thought I wanted to kind of be like a Chow. Like I wanted to like I.
You're not
I
a
thought
Chow
Chad
though.
was.
You're not
No,
a
I'm
Chow
not.
though.
I know.
I want it to be a Chow. I want it to be a Chow. I've never heard anyone say that, Dr. Chow. I don't even think Dr. Chow has heard anyone say that. I don't think Dr. Chow's closest friends would even want to be a Chow. No offense, Chow.
Like
You're not
I
a
thought
Chow
Chad
though.
was.
No, you fucking faggot. I don't get it, dude. Like, why are you trying to do that?
I liked Chad for a while. I thought I wanted to kind of be like a Chow. Like I wanted to like I
wanted to be a Chow. Okay. Careful what you wish for. That's all I got to say. 115.35. We've got three more. 115.35. As if it hasn't been insane already, Little Mir is going to somehow ask another insane question.
I have the good herpes, not the bad herpes.
What's the worst
but,
fraternity move you've done on a female? You know what I'm saying? Because I always hear females being raped at fraternities. So like, like
how close were you?
How close are you to raping someone, but you didn't rape them?
How close were you to raping somebody without actually having to rape them? Sick question, bro. Do you think about that? Did you do show prep for that question?
Give me that story.
Now, again, if I get a question like this on an interview, I go, guys, next question. I mean, what are we doing here? Next question, please. Dan answers.
So what I will say is when I was like 18, I would get fucking blackout drunk. I would get like Ray DeVito drunk at these parties.
Yeah.
First of all, no excuse.
And they would have
no excuse, by the way. Blackout drunk. I don't get. I was blackout drunk. That's why I cheated on you. I was blackout drunk. That's why I raped you. It's no excuse. It's no excuse to be blackout. Then don't drink. If you're going to get drunk and then start raping or start cheating, then how about you don't drink? And if you do drink, then stay inside. I mean, nobody talks about this. This whole excuse, Dan, I get it, whatever. You're just trying to, have a fun time with the guys on Mir Musk. But the excuse of being blackout drunk simply doesn't work. I'm not saying you molested or raped anybody. I think you're going to go on to tell a story here about an incident. Now, we can't be too sure whether or not you did because you were black. How could you be too sure? You were blacked out drunk. When I'm blacked out drunk, I don't know about you, but when I'm blacked out drunk, I don't remember a lick. I don't remember nothing. I don't get blacked out drunk. I think I might have been blacked out drunk one time, maybe. And that was in like junior year of high school when I was 16, 17. I had one too many smeared off ices. And by one too many, I mean 3. But it's no excuse. You don't need to be answering these questions. First of all. Second of all, it's no excuse.
I would get fucking blackout drunk. I would get like Ray DeVito drunk at these parties.
Yeah.
And they would have like the dance floor and it was like completely pitch black dark. And I would just, we would just start you just start groping. I mean, you wouldn't even know what to check.
Oh, cool. So you're just blacked out drunk. You don't remember anything on a pitch black dance floor. Just groping. Hey, we're just groping. I'm blacked out drunk on a pitch black dance floor. I'm just groping. I'm just shoving fingers up holes. I'm just grabbing fun bags. I don't know whether or not it's a chick or a guy because, again, it's pitch black and I'm blacked out drunk. So how could I know? I mean, what the fuck?
Like half the time. And you're just grabbing her ass, grabbing her tits, kissing her neck or whatever. You don't even and then one time guy.
So she don't even know as you're grabbing her ass, feeling her tits, kissing on her neck. I mean, that to me sounds like a rape. That to me is kind of borderline rapey. I'm not saying you did it. I'm not saying I'm accusing you of the big R. God forbid. But it's damn near borderline close. It's like you're right there on the edge. of rape and casual groping. I mean, what? Casual groping? Is that a thing? Hey, I'm just can I just casually grope you? I'm blacked out drunk and we're in a pitch black room. Woo!
I said, dude, what the fuck was with that fucking pig you were fucking groping outside? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't even fucking remember.
Wow. Okay. 118-15. Dan's. Again, you don't, Dan. You don't need to be answering these questions, Dano. You don't. Listen to this story.
And I may or may not have gone down in time that I got shit for. The worst thing I did.
The worst thing Dan did and got shit for back in his old frat days.
So you want to hear the worst thing I did that I got shit for?
Yeah, in a fraternity, yeah.
Again, the worst thing you did I ever got shit. This, you don't need to be saying these things. Keep these, die with these secrets, you see. Die with them. If you got if you're a guy out there looking to do a show and you got some secrets like this, die with them. Die with your secrets. Again, nobody needs to know this besides you and the people that day.
So that same girl that I hooked up with, I don't know if it was the first or the second time I hooked up with her, but she was on her period.
Okay, we know where this is going.
Oh God.
And I may or may not have gone down on her for like just a very short period of time.
You went down?
I mean, Jesus. I don't care if it was for 6 seconds. And I better not be seeing anyone in the chat going, yeah, oh yeah, Dano, you got your fucking Red Wings, brother. Your Red Wings? Again, what are we, 16? I get it. Dan was in college. He was a younger Dan, blacked out drunk, doing some casual groping. But, come on, man. And again, even if this did happen, Dan, like you say it did, there's no need to disclose. Die with your secrets.
Like nasty shit, dude.
I was fucking blackout drunk. I was
okay.
He was blackout drunk, but he remembers the story. I mean, that's why the excuse, Dan, blackout drunk simply doesn't work. Because if you're blackout drunk, you don't remember. It's like you remember certain things from that night prior to being blackout drunk, but then you're blackout drunk and then boom, your memory's gone to shit. You don't remember casual grope sessions and Red Wing stories. I mean, that's just don't seem too blacked out to me. Last one, 132.25. I don't know what happened here. I think Dan was, I guess, realized he had maybe said too much, or maybe he was reading some chats that were saying that they were going to expose Dan, that he has secrets, that we're going to find out all your secrets. Sure. I mean, trust me, guys, there's no secrets from Dan. I mean, he's pretty transparent, I will say, but I don't know what happens. Maybe his wife came back into the room and yelled at him some more in Brazilian language. But all of a sudden, the guys are having a nice convo, and Dan looks interested, seems engaged, and then just decides to up and leave.
All these young people, all these young men who are struggling. Your podcast is used for just like, comedy, or you're reacting to things. Have you ever thought of like kind of like reaching out to your own fraternities, or like kind of promoting like fraternity, I would say like, Chow, you know what I'm talking about, like promoting fraternities and aspect, like, hey, I was a fraternity brother. Let's promote you guys more because there's a lot.
And there goes Dan.
Like, Chow, you know what I'm talking about, like promoting fraternities and aspect, like, hey, I was a fraternity brother. Let's promote you guys more because there's a lack of that.
Hold on, J.E. came in earlier. Says Dollar99 says, why did Dan rip off your look? Oh God, did he rip off my look? The hats and shades look. Fuck you, Jay. Fuck you. I know it's a genuine question, more directed towards Dan and not me, obviously. I know, but now it's kind of freaking me out, dude. Don't. Oh, fuck. God damn it, J.E. God damn it.
Chow, you know what I'm talking about, like promoting fraternities and aspect. Like, hey, I was at a fraternity.
No, literally, I think Dan just had enough of this show and just said, look, I mean, you could see the guys, Mir and Chow, are trying to give Dan advice of how to operate and steer the ship. And Dan, you could just see his arm grab the mouse and go to leave StreamYard Studio.
Chow, you know what I'm talking about,
Watch
like
Dan's
promoting
arm.
fraternities and aspect. Like, hey, I was at a fraternity. I was a fraternity
yeah.
brother. Let's promote you guys.
I've had enough. I'm gone. And Mir's so fucking drunk. Not blacked out drunk yet, but he's so drunk. This doesn't even affect him. They just lost their guest.
Because there's a lack of that. No, he's gone.
Honestly.
Oh, he's gone.
Like,
and the show just continues to roll. Hey, I do got to look, seriously, a round of applause to Mir and Chow for being professionals. I mean, seriously, some professionals couldn't even handle it this well. Like if Jay Leno was conducting an interview or, imagine if this happened to Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, if they had a guest on and all of a sudden the guest just said, I'm out. Like they would never be able to actually like mentally ever recover. They would always be second guessing themselves and questioning themselves. Was it me? Did I say too much? Did I say too little? Was I acting too engaged? They would go into some sort of host spiral, you see. Not Mir and Chow. Mir and Chow are locked the fuck in. Dan or no Dan. They don't need Dan to continue and finish this show. They could just wrap it up themselves. Red Wings and all.
I would say, like, Chow, you know what I'm talking about, like promoting fraternities and aspect. Like, hey, I was at a fraternity. I was a fraternity brother. Let's promote you guys more because there's a lack of that. No, he's gone.
Honestly, like,
he's gone.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like some of the stuff that's gotten really popular.
And now we're just going to act as if nothing's happened and continue to roll on for the next 3 minutes. Boys, brilliant work from the Mir Musk conglomerate. Dan, I got some questions. I'd like to have you on my show for some follow-up questions, Dan. But you can't get blacked out drunk here on my show, you see. Dan from Nice Podcast, Stupid. All right, hold on. There's a clip playing. Guys, that is going to wrap us up here for the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you to everyone who contributed on today's program. Let's give a quick shout out to a few people. Isaac Walmart, J.E., Coach De La, Aaron The Rat, Noga, Mod Chris, Nice Podcast, Stupid, coincidentally enough, POTUS Felonious, and Sky is a Neighborhood. Thank you guys. Round of applause to yourselves. I think we'll be back here on maybe Monday for the big epic studio reveal that is SteelToe, the SteelToe studio reveal. I'm so pumped for. We saw the sign earlier, although it took me mainly the first quarter of my show to locate where the sign was, but it's abysmal. We'll go over some more stuff that we didn't go over today. I'd like to get into this Tom Myers character, Gavin McInnes breaking the law, but we'll get into it on a different time. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Keep your heads down. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't do anything I would do. Kind of just coast on by. Definitely don't do anything Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid would do when he was a frat guy in college, getting Red Wings and casually groping chicks. I mean, I better not hear any stories on Monday of, oh no, I'll just use an example in the chat room. The first one I see of Ahab coming back and casually groping some chicks, or Jeff Closer coming back and getting his Red Wings. Better not be a reality. Let's give a quick shout out to all our mods today. We got Chris, I believe. We got J.E. We got Jeff Closer, K. McDuck, and Coach Dayla. I think all here today. Thank you guys. Keeping the chat clean and above board at all times. Again, Monday, I think we'll be back, possibly. If not, just look for a thumbnail. But I think the plan is Monday. Thank you to everyone. Have a great weekend. Tom Chilstrom drop is going to start now. Picture it in your minds. But all in all, great show. Thanks, Corey. Tom, you suck. Thank you, Tom Chilstrom, of course. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe. Stay black, most importantly. And, if you're one of these podcast hosts who are looking to get into podcasting, or you're already doing it, and you're a little bit overweight, let's try to do better. Let's at least try to not sound like we can't speak, like we're too clogged to form a sentence. Okay? I mean, it's not too much to ask. And let's not break any laws this weekend, guys. Not be a Rekieta or a SteelToe. Or Julie Lauren, whatever the fuck her name is. Weezer's bass player. His wife. No law breaking, no Red Wings, no casual groping. Okay? Until next time, you sad motherfuckers. I don't know why I said sad there. I think I meant to say sick. Fuck, I almost had the outro landed. One of these days, I'll get my outro perfect. Until next time, thank you to everyone. No, seriously, hit the like button on the way out. Do what you got to do. Have a great weekend. If you want to contribute to the show, links are in the description after the show. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.